like it was just nothing but a dirt road, and it was like do not trespass here and all that shit. That's where once you went up the hill, that's where you seen the person that had the mailbox shaped built in like a bear with a mailbox in it. It was fucking wild, man. I did not want to get out.
And guys, welcome to the pregame.
Let's go.
Oh my goodness, we have a mailbox inside a bear. I am so happy to live in New England. I don't see any of that shit, man.
Just saying.
Yo, what is going on? Everybody in the chat, yo, thank you for coming by on another Saturday night to come hang out with the Next Podcast crew. Yo, crew, what is going on? How we doing today, yo?
Fantastic. Look at this skin. This next fucking skin is this.
Oh, shoot.
I'm looking at it straight at PC now. This is awesome.
Just to let you know.
Hi, everyone in chat.
Yo, everybody in the chat. Just to let you, I was going to say, this is one of our special guests, Mr. UK Dazarus himself, and he said that this overlay for the Next Podcast is the best ever because it has Daz's icon in it. So, let me know in the chat if you guys agree. What's going on, yo?
I like it, man. I like it a lot.
Nice.
Put some serious work. It's the shit.
Nice, man. I'm definitely getting the hang of doing all this stuff, yo. But
hey, putting the time every week. Like seriously, like I don't know if anybody that puts as much extra time in their podcast as Xbot. And that's not no ass kissing.
Yeah,
that's
podcast is a lot of work, especially when you're on multiple podcasts too. Like some of
absolutely.
Well,
a lot of work.
See, the thing is, I'm a very visual person, right? I love doing like BGST, all that good stuff. But when it came to like just having the black background of the Hangout and stuff like that, I like watching stuff while I'm listening to stuff. And what better stuff to watch when you're listening to a gaming podcast than actual gameplay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize. I couldn't get my gameplay in time this week.
That's it. You're fired, man. I'm about to kick you out the Hangout right now.
That's some good shit too, but I just couldn't get it rendered.
Of course, man. I don't know how many times people tell me, "Yo, I had some really good gameplay, but I am sorry, but I just couldn't get it to you in time." I'm like, really, man.
Yeah, you picked the worst day. I was just gonna say that. To have it. Like Thursday is like my really busy day, and like I need it by Thursday. I'm like, fuck, man, I got shit to do on Thursday.
Well, I see. The funny thing was, at first it was by Friday, but there's certain people on the panel that didn't even know what that Friday meant. So I had to push it back even more. So if I pushed it back to Thursday, maybe I would get it by Friday. You see what I'm saying?
You got mine last Friday.
Yo, yeah.
I needed my last Friday.
You and I do have to say, Mega, the gameplay that we were talking about yesterday, I don't know if you sent it to somebody else, but you did send me the send that shit to Hades freaking WAV, by the way.
Well, no, I sent you.
Why did you send me your send that shit to Hades though?
That I don't know. I don't know how that came about. But I sent maybe I was trying to experiment with something. I don't know, but no, I sent you two gameplay videos like last week.
I got one of the two, which is the one I did put in for the gameplay tonight. But that one that you were talking about, the one like I really wanted to see for some reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only thing I found was that, like I said, that WAV, you actually sent me your freaking iconic send that shit to Hades, man. I was like, I can't use that. Everybody will say I'm impersonating El Mega over here,
Of course, legendary Mega in the house.
Goodness,
many people like to use it, so it is what it is. So I see now that there's going to be conflict. I come back. And I get approached instead of like when Newark is gone or when Fuski is gone and Don and everybody else, they come back and we're so happy that you're back. It's fantastic. But then when I come back, it's like El Mega, you taking all day with your videos. And
was that your impersonation of my voice, by the way? Is that?
I'm sorry. Let me. I do try to impersonate as me. Let me tell you something about your video.
Hold on. I don't crack, okay? I don't crack.
He actually has to have something shoved up his ass to sound like you, Xbox.
That does not sound like me, guys. Yo, anybody in the chat, if if K Mega's impersonation was spot on, hit number 1. If he was way off, hit number 2. I gotta see this because I don't think that sounded like me at all. Oh, we got Mega. Yo, you can't do twice.
Hey.
1.5.
Yeah. See, look at that. Look at that.
I don't believe. Yo, man.
Was close.
Dude,
it's close.
I am so glad you changed your icon because I could pick you out with that pink background, man. I could pick your icon out real quick.
I'm gonna change it back. I want to change it back to something else, but some troll made that, and so I was like, hey, it's kind of cool because I'm standing next to Locke.
They put a lot of work into it for being a troll, man.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just show him some love. You know what I'm saying? Me and Locke standing together. Now I do not understand why I have some Marlboros on my shoulder. I don't smoke, and you know what I'm saying, and I don't wear cowboy hats. But I used to when I was a little kid.
You're offended by the Marlboros.
Yeah. They got the
shout out to
Marlboros rolled
Skint.
up in the sleeve.
I got a number 2 from Skint Eastwood. Snaps, who's in the chat right now. I have no idea. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't even know what her answer is.
Just counting cookies.
She's counting peanut butter cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got that.
Let's go.
All right. Well, you guys ready to I don't know, possibly check out the intro?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go, people. What's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast, episode number 55. And for people who know me, you know I am a basketball fan, and that just reminds me of Jordan's comeback when he hung a double nickel on the New York Knicks. But guys, I am really excited tonight. We have 2 special guests. We have a lot of hot topics. One of the topics I'm really kind of like pumped about, and it has to deal with this whole mid-generation refresh and what's going on with the Xbox One X and the Ps4 Pro, right? Because with the Pro, you're getting a lot of upscaling, aka checkerboard and stuff like that. So later on in the show, I want to pose a question to the panel. Is the Pro the equivalent of the launch Xbox One? Basically, has the shoe been put on the other foot? But other than that, we're going to talk Destiny 2, we're going to talk Fortnite, we're going to talk Crackdown, because yes, guys, we talk about games here, but we can't start until we do the intros, and of course, special guests come first. I'm going to start with this man who is making his second appearance on the Next Podcast. Did an absolute stellar job last time. Highly intelligent gamer. I am very glad to see him back in the States. Huge shout out to my boy Predator H2O's.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me back on the podcast again, man. It's been a while. I've been trying to get back on since I got back from that deployment. We couldn't get our schedules linked up, man. But I'm here. I'm bad, bougie. I'm on the Xbox podcast. Let's go. Let's get this shit going.
Nice, man. And you recently came out with a video on your channel that, man, really caught me, pointing out the whole kiosk situation. I think, what was it, Best Buy?
It was Best Buy I went to when I saw that. I've actually posted this stuff before. This is the first time I actually posted an image of it. But, it was just, the same old OG Xbox sitting there in the kiosk. It's like that in every store, from Best Buy to Walmart, Target, you pick it, it's there, and it's sad. And I know I triggered one guy on Twitter, and he sent me a photo like, PlayStation has it too, and I'm like, PlayStation's leading right now though in sales. Like, this is something you need to do at the base, like, start at the bottom, start with what you see at the store, makes the shit presentable to everybody. You have a new product out, it should be there in the display for the store. So if I triggered somebody about it, I'm speaking like normal business sense, man. But like, if Xbox wants to get back and sales game with their console. They got to start doing simple stuff like this. It's attention to detail.
Yeah,
That's what
attention.
sells, not just yeah.
I would say attention to detail and presentation mean a lot. I actually, when I went to school for graphic design, I also took marketing as a class and whatnot, and that is really big. I know. I've talked about in terms of the Xbox One X. I talked about they need to replace the kiosks, put the One X in there, and I believe K Mega definitely agrees with me, and me and Mega have been kind of like running with that whole scenario. It does mean a lot, man.
Yeah, it does. And the thing is, like that PlayStation picture I took, that guy, I guess they had a rep in there like a couple of days prior. That's all new shit. With the exception of the console, I think they still have the old console in there, but that's all new shit. And they're leading the division. They're leading the sales right now. They're leading the market right now in sales, and they're still going out there and constantly updating their stuff. But that same display I took a picture of the Xbox. That's the same one that's been there since launch.
Yeah, dude. I gotta say, it was a great video. I don't comment on a lot of videos unless like the topic really catches me, and I definitely hit the comment section on that video. Thumbs up, all that good stuff. I do have Predator's YouTube channel in the description below. I highly suggest checking out his channel. Like he said, he came back from deployment. He is a military man, and you've been back for a while though, right?
Yeah, about maybe 2 months, somewhere in there. I've been doing a lot of family time, man, since I missed Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff. And it's summertime too, so the kids are here. So I've been spending a lot of time with them. I've had a chance to get on a couple of podcasts, but like I said, me and you, we just haven't been able to link up, man. So till today. So, glad to be here.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And not for anything. When it comes to deployment, is there anything scheduled for like the near future? Or are you gonna be around for a while? What's going on with that, dude?
Oh man, I'm hitting 20 years next year, so that should have been my last deployment unless something happens the next 6 months or so. I should be here for good from now on.
And I know what you're thinking. You're like, damn, Trump is president, so I don't have any fucking idea what's going on, man.
Yeah, we were over there. I'm thinking like, oh man, this dude's got elected. He started dropping bombs and shit over there. I'm like, oh man, we might be here a little longer than thought.
Don't have to worry about dropping bombs. His hands are too small to push the button anyway, so we're good, man. It's a pleasure, man. I can't wait to get into the topics with you. But like I said, 2 special guests, and I would like to introduce his first time on the next podcast. He is a pillar of the Xbox community on Twitter. He has his own YouTube channel. He is my own personal moderator of the year. I don't know where my channel would be without this guy, man. He goes above and beyond with getting at least my information from my channel out there, and he does his best to show support for everybody's podcast. He is just all over the place, and he came out with the quote of the year when it comes to community combat on OSnap's channel. When talking about if he was going to come in, he said, "I'm going to kill all you fuckers." Shout out to UK Dazarus!
Haha, cheers for the awesome intro, Xbot. It was, I'm going to fuck you up, actually, but I'll let you off for that.
No, nice man. Game. You said I'm going to kill all you fuckers, man. You might have been knocking back a couple drinks at that. I remember that like yesterday, dude.
I would have been, yeah. But nice, awesome background fucking gameplay you got going on there.
I don't know, man. One of our special guests, I think this might be Predator. No, this is definitely Daz's gameplay. Dude, thank you so much for putting that in as well. I get a chance to look at the gameplay before time as I'm putting it all together, and I'm like, damn, man, we're headlining with this. I got to make sure my clips are immaculate after this. So I appreciate it, dude.
All cool, bro. All cool.
All right, man.
Yeah, glad to be here. Anyway, crack on.
Nice. And when it comes to Daz's channel, man, he does a wide range of stuff for his YouTube channel. He does retro gameplay. He does gaming news. Daz, have you done any live streams lately, man?
I did one the other day on Doom. I saw the DLC come out, yeah, and I absolutely embarrassed myself. I got killed left, right, and fucking centre, mate.
Oh man, like the Doom multiplayer, especially if you just go in, because you got to rank yourself up, you got to get like more damage points and stuff like that. It could be rough when you're going in there brand new, man.
And also, this afternoon, I fucked Siberia and read up on Forza 6, just for the record. My video will be up after this show.
Oh,
I've got one up now. I've got one up now, but I've got an edited version as well.
I wonder if Siberia is in the chat right now. Siberia is usually
He is,
around.
yeah.
Yo, Siberia, man, what happened? You got your ass handed to you in Forza 6, huh?
You got fucked up, Siberia.
Yo, it's all good, man. You gotta.
That's good shit, yeah.
You gotta love the competition of Forza, dude. Again, well, thank you for joining us. I can't wait to get into the topics with you, man. We are gonna go crazy tonight, but I do have to introduce, the rest of the panel, and let's start with that guy. How do you spell his name? Diva. My brother, K Mega.
What the hell was that? Did you just come at me? Did you just call me a diva?
Dude, I've been saying this since last. Well, actually,
I know you said it on GRG last night, but I mean now you're just really trying to throw it out. That's fine. And now I got to be waiting for this diva talking for BGST tomorrow. Bring it. Crap you in here. I wish you will call me a diva. I'm going to start lighting people up from the get. You know how it is. I'm relaxed. I'm back. I'm going to be. And it's just more arrogant as I ever been. But anyway, man, it's great to be back, man. It's it's like a home away from home, man, being away from Don and his Cambodian yak that he always knew. And you know what I'm saying? And for Newark, I don't know where Newark is. I heard that he turned his braids into jury curls, but that's okay. Oh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll be cool with that Hawaiian Silky. And Fuski, you know what I'm saying? We hear that he's working somewhere way out doing some chain gang stuff. So hey, I don't know what the hell Fuski got going on. I haven't heard from him. But you know what I'm saying? Big shout out to him and just the rest of the crew, man. And to the new guys, man, hey, welcome. If you guys say some crazy shit, I will light your ass up. Just remember that.
Here we go. Yo, not for anything.
I'll say some crazy shit right now, nigga. I'm fucking calling you out on MK.
Well, call me out in MK. That's right. Call me out and call me out in Tekken too. Because you might give me an MK, but I'll whoop your ass in Tekken.
I say, Mega, you don't want him in Mortal Kombat.
That's my defense. That's my defense mechanism. I can play. I'm not that great in Mortal Kombat, but I can play some Tekken. So that's what we do, man. But no, man.
I ain't got Tekken yet, but I'll get it especially to fuck you up.
Thank you. I'm not only a local ass kicker. I am an international ass kicker as well. So it has. I go over the pond and kick that ass and come on back. So it's no problem. But anyway, no, man.
By the time I finish with you, I'll get Don to kiss your ass. Fucking there you go.
Yo, Daz has been waiting for this right now, Mega. You hear that, right?
Yeah, I hear it, man. It's great. But yeah, if you wanna play some Mortal Kombat, I have no problem with it. I mean, I'm gonna be free after the show. So
shout out to Lady Foxfire in the chat. She's trying to get everybody to hashtag KDiva.
You know what? Into the many names: the K Mega Cornflake, King of the A Button, L Mega.
You know what
I'm saying? Now K Diva. I can't express how much I am so appreciative that people get that much attention to want to call me all different types of names. So thank you. Thank you,
Mega. You know what it is, man. Like when you're gone for 2 weeks and you come back, it's all love, man. Everybody missed you. Me and you, man, we've been talking for a while. We've been doing this show for a while, and it's really good to have you back, man. And he disappeared. I was waiting for some love back in my direction, but I ain't going to get any. So anyway.
He'll leave you hanging, man.
All right, next on the list, man. You know what time it is. Your lights are flickering right now. It's time to stand up. Show that respect. Kiss that ring. The Don.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, it's that time of week where we get together and we talk about games, and we have two special guests. UK Daz, he's always hopping in parties and hanging out with us, and then we also have H2O Predator, and it's been almost I think a year since the last time we've hung out, and it's good to see that you made it back safely to your family and all that sort of stuff, and now we get to talk about the trivial things in life, gaming.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Now, cool. Don, we're gonna be talking about it later, but it seems like you have gotten a lot more active on your Happy Little Polygons YouTube channel, and you dropped another video today.
Yeah, it's once a week. That's the goal. Once a week. It's not a big commitment to ask of somebody, I think, and people seem to like it. And honestly, I'm just excited that more than 5 people actually watch one of my videos, and my mind is blown when I actually have more views on a video than I have subscribers. So that's I couldn't be happier with everyone watching and everyone giving their feedback. So
Nice. I think a lot of people like getting that perspective, from somebody who's in the development community, somebody who is working on his own game using the Unreal Engine 4, I might add. And it's good to hear a lot of this stuff kind of broken down by somebody who has knowledge of it, and it still has that gamer mentality at heart. You know what I'm saying?
hey man, if you don't love gaming, it just becomes another job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's no fun. And if you're developing, man, that you have one of the best jobs out there, right? So you got to keep that perspective. You have to have fun. It's part of your job, but it's the best part of your job, right?
Nice.
But you don't sound like you having fun. You sound dry as hell. Are you sleepy?
Dude, he lives in Utah. That's excited in Utah,
my
man.
God, he's like, he's all summer. He's like, it's just having fun, right? I just, but using the Unreal 4, it's just a job. I don't know, man. Go grab one of those teats on that damn yak, and then come back. Get energized, man. We back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mega, you talked to him.
El Diva.
Yo, Mega, you talked to him about that yak milk, but you're the one milking that yak dry right now, man. You gotta come up with something new, man.
Oh, well, no, I got plenty of things for Don. I mean, I know that on GRG, I bring up stuff about he's saving baby cubs, baby cub wolves, you know what I'm saying, in the mountains, you know what I'm saying? But that yak, that Cambodian yak milk, I mean, he tells me how much he's a lover of milk of all different
K-Mega had a slight taste of that yak milk, and then he's just like, man, I can't let it go.
That's why he's the only man with a
he just craves it all the time. It's weird.
It is, man. I need some more of that, man. So go ahead and squeeze a little bit and then send something to me.
Wow, guys.
Straight from the teeth, man.
On that note, man, let's get into these topics. I'm tired of the yak milk, man.
Okay, yeah, I'll come with some new material. I'll come.
All right, guys. Well, first on the list, man, it's something that a lot of people have been talking about. Of course, that would be the Destiny 2 beta. And, when it came to Destiny 1, there was a lot of hardcore gamers out there, a lot of people that really went in and, did the raids and the strikes in Destiny. But there was a lot of people out there that really complained about a couple things when it came to Destiny. And the main thing being the lack of a story actually in the game. For people who don't know, you found like little dossiers and stuff like that throughout the game, and you actually had to go online to read all this stuff that was going on in terms of the story of Destiny 1. I want to hit the special guest first. Let's go with Predator H2O first. Yo, brother, man, have you played the Destiny 2 beta yet, man?
I actually have. I played yesterday for a little bit, and it feels just like Destiny 1 to me. That's just my opinion. I didn't play a lot of Destiny 1, but what little bit I did play, I mean, it feels similar to that to me. The story, the fact that I actually have a story now is actually really good because I had no idea where it was going in Destiny 1. And I think the developers even said that at one point in time too. They didn't know what the story was about. So, and they did. I got to find it. I posted on Twitter, but I remember them saying something like that. But, it seems like they have a solid story this time. And I kind of got into it late on Destiny 1 where I guess I got the Taken King first. I didn't get the original
well, that's good because if you got anything before time, you were dropped until you got the Taken King anyway. So,
well, here's the bad part about that. Because I got into it late, the people I know that play it were so far ahead of me in the game. Like, I could never catch up with them and get on the same level they were at. So I just got disinterested and I stopped playing it. And went on to other stuff. But this one, I'm actually gonna get it early. I'm gonna pre-order it. And actually get into it with my friends while they're playing it. There are some like little quirks. I think I don't really like the PvP mode. I think they went from 6v6 to 4v4 now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that wasn't a good idea. I don't like that they did that, but but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it early. I'm gonna try and get into it early this time and play with my friends and see what the game is about, because it's got a lot of hype around it. A lot of people like it. I really want to see what it's all about, because I didn't do it before. So I'll take my time this time and get into it with some friends of mine and play some rounds and some strikes with those guys.
Yeah.
See what
Now,
happens.
when it comes to the beta, like first of all, I do have to say when the first Destiny, when that beta came out, everybody was on board for that, and then they were disappointed with the game at launch.
Mhm.
Now, you definitely shared a lot of your opinions on this beta, but what do you think about it graphically? Do you think it's a step up from the original Destiny? What do you think? Do you think it's a pretty game, man?
It looks very nice. I think there's a little bit more platforming in the mode I played,
Mm-hmm.
the strike that we played. I don't remember seeing all that platforming in the games before, but again, it's the repetitiveness that it's going to kill me. I hate doing the same thing 1,000 times, but it's a grind game, and I guess that's what it's all about. What I really want to see is what their plans are for future DLC, because I think they kind of screwed some people over with Destiny One. Like, I want to see what they're planning on doing as far as strikes and what the content's going to be and how
Mm-hmm.
frequent their content's going to come out. That's going to make or break the game. Is it, being a long-term game for me, or is it something I play for a few months and just move on to something else? So
Yeah.
graphically, though, to answer your question, graphically, I think it looks really nice. I did see the Digital Foundry, video, and the one thing I hate about Digital Foundry, they point out shit that you would never notice. Like I'm not stopping the game and pausing it and zooming it in on a background of a wire that's hanging from a telephone pole. I don't play like that. Like, there's so much shit going on the screen. You don't notice the simple shit they find on Digital Foundry that happens for like a split second. So I mean, I like that they do that to some degree, but like they go a little bit too in depth with it. I don't care. Like, what is the game? Just give me the frames, give me the resolution. Let me know if this is like really just fucked up, or if it's something that's really gonna, like, it's something that's simple. If it's not gonna cause an issue with the gameplay, don't bring it up to me. Don't make it sound so negative that, oh my god, there's a jaggy on a piece of grass that you're never gonna notice unless you pause the game and zoom in. I don't care about that shit. So just show me the shit I want to see. Show me the gameplay footage. Tell me what you think about the gameplay, and show me a nice comparison without all that simple shit. If it's like a major issue, that's what I want to hear about.
I got you, man. I got you, and that's definitely something. It's funny. We went in Mooch and Crap on Crossfire yesterday. Pretty much said the same exact thing. They were talking about Jaggy on this rail over here while the floor is breaking down and you're falling through it and stuff. And it's like, hey, the floor is falling through, and somebody else is like, but no, look, there's a Jaggy over there on the handrail over to the left. And it's like, yeah, exactly, and that's why I've been promoting throughout the day. There is a YouTube channel out there called NXG. If you wanna check out that YouTube channel at some point in time, he does tech analysis. He does what Digital Foundry does, but he keeps that gamer aspect into it. He'll let you know, yeah, this is going on over on this handrail over here, but you're not going to notice it when you're in the middle of this shit and the floor is falling out underneath you and stuff. So he keeps that gamer perspective in there when he's doing the tech analysis. He does a really good job. I highly suggest everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel, give this guy's channel a once over and possibly subscribe to him, because to me he's head and shoulders above Digital Foundry anyway.
Well, that's kind of strange because that's what developers do. When they make those compromises on games, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're always making it in places hopefully where it's not noticeable, right? And it's not affecting the gameplay. They want it to be most impactful where your attention's focused and where you're playing and all that sort of stuff, right? So developers have that perspective too. So why can't Digital Foundry have that perspective?
That is a great point, man. And it's funny with like how much I think about gaming throughout the day. I never put that together. That's where like they would make sure, where you're focused at is looking as good as possible, performing as good as possible. And if there's anything that needs to be like taken down or kind of like they'll do that over to the side somewhere where you're possibly you're not focused on.
Well, they can't really just focus it on the side, but the point is they're supposed to scale resources back as much as possible, make the image as good as possible on the hardware that they actually have, right? So when you're doing that and you have to rely on somebody like Digital Foundry to pause and play the video and go back and have to have some sort of software to analyze it, then obviously the developer did their job.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean,
Yeah.
that's what a developer's job is to do, is to make the experience as good as it possibly can, regardless of hardware.
Mm.
Let me let me let
Go
me
ahead.
ask this: before this generation, like I've never even heard of this router before this generation. Would anybody have noticed any of this shit before? Had no one
No,
else pointed it out?
only PC people. The only people that I knew that would look at that go into full detail like that were people that played on the PC. And
Mhm.
other than that, I mean, I was too busy working and just playing the game and having fun.
Yeah, yeah,
That's not having fun to me if you just are looking for every little strand or every pixel, or if you see some screen tearing, things like that. Yeah, that's that's noticeable. Or if
yeah.
the game is moving sluggish, but it's still, if the game still was fun, we overlook that. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, because you would want developers to harness and get their craft totally correct.
Mm.
But it's just one of those things, to be human is to error, and not everything is going to be perfect. So stop acting like these games, when they come out, has to be perfect, especially now that you got patches and they could fix some of the problems that they couldn't do back in the days.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Eat.
But let me go over to Daz here. Yo, Daz, man, it's your time. First question on next podcast. I was hoping it would be something, fighting game related, but we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in on Destiny 2, man. Did you try out the beta, dude?
Yeah, I played it. I did all the prologue bullshit. I don't, I don't fit much to the online, to be honest with you. I got my ass whooped, but I actually like the first two levels before you hit online. It's pretty good.
They give the first two levels for the story. Now, Daz, did you get into Destiny 1 when that came out, dude?
Only a bit. I refuse to pay for all the extras.
that definitely makes sense. What do you feel in terms of like comparison? I know we're only talking a beta for the sequel, so like we didn't get a chance to play.
I've got an issue. I've got an issue with the campaign, the first two levels. The frame rate seemed a bit off.
Okay.
I was like turning around and I was lost here and there.
All right,
And
I could definitely see that.
seemed a
Now
bit, yeah,
they
seemed a
got
bit disorientated.
it can feel that way at certain points in time. I mean, they do give you a little kind of like marker on where you're supposed to go, but I know there was within the two kind of like story mode missions or whatever. There was a part where I was going through like this rubble, and it was like a really small space. And
Yeah.
we actually have bonus content. I put bonus content, and it is going to be the Destiny 2 beta, basically the first two missions. And you'll see, I do kind of get lost at first. Like, I don't know where I'm going, because I'm not used to, within a first-person shooter, getting into such
Yeah.
a confined space for an extended period of time. Is that something that you kind of felt? Was that the area that
Yeah.
you were talking about, man?
Yeah, exactly. And also, at the end, I don't know if I want to spoil it or not, but near the end, you get to the turbines and that.
Okay.
It takes you a few minutes. Yeah, it takes you a few minutes to figure that out as well, and where to drop just before that.
I got you, man. Yeah, yo, dude, when you got I know when I got to the thing where it told you to take out like the three gears, dude, I was shooting at the arms that were going around in a circle for I don't know how long. And
It's all right. Right now, I'm gonna take the piss out of Stiggy, baby, because he's in the fucking chat, and I was on his stream earlier, and he didn't have a fucking clue what to do until I told him.
But it's kind of a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the game to kind of hold my hand all the way through either. So there was parts where I didn't necessarily know where I was going, but eventually you figured it out.
Yeah.
What do you
It's,
think?
I've got it on my YouTube as well. I've put the first two levels on, and you'll see me screwing up a few times because I didn't know where I was going. Also the turning, the gun mechanics are fine, but the actual turning around seems a bit stiffer than the original.
Gun mechanics are fine. Like, I heard a lot of people talk good stuff about the gunplay, but I'm gonna hold off on my opinion on all that until we talk to everybody else on the panel. So just one last question on the Destiny 2 thing, directed at you guys. What do you think, man? Is it a game that you're gonna look into buying when it releases, man?
I'll be interested in it if it's got a decent campaign.
All right. So
Basically.
from what you saw, like, and you dabbled a little bit in the original Destiny. Do you think from what you saw from the beta that they are putting more effort into the campaign and putting a story in there?
It seems like they've put in a lot more, yeah, like you say, a lot more effort into it. But the original seemed a bit smoother to me. But I know it's only a beta, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, I got you, man. A lot of times betas are usually an older version of the game. Maybe not like incredibly old, but maybe one step behind or whatever. So that's cool. I mean, you have interest in it. There are some issues in terms of the gameplay and stuff like that. But I mean, it's
that should, like I said, that should get ironed out after the beta, hopefully.
Well, yeah, so. You're being sensible about it, man, and it's something that I definitely appreciate, man. I appreciate honesty on this. On this show, on this channel, because I know there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of people saying, "Man, I'm getting this." I know Crap Gamer, he's almost getting pressured. He got almost pressured by my brother Mooch to pre-order the game. So like it's good.
Mooch got me, man. He got me on it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me go to my boy coming live from the 405. Yo, Mega, did you try out the Destiny 2 open beta, dude?
I'm trying it out right now. Yeah, I'm trying it out right now, man.
He's like a kid doing his homework like right before it's due.
Yo.
Well, I was gonna try it last night, but I volunteered to go to work early in the morning, so I just went straight to bed after.
Oh, so that's why you have so much energy and I don't.
Well, yeah. So, but anyway, that's that's saying so because I was over there busting ass for like 7 hours. I had to be at work at 4:30 in the morning. What's your excuse, Don?
Anyway. Over 12-hour days.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the point. All right.
I was gonna say, do you want me to hold off and take Don and then let you get some time in there first, or
no? I've watched some gameplay of it. I'm playing it right now. It looks better, of course, but it's Destiny, and after the first time that I played Destiny, with the beta, I loved it, right? Because I was expecting more, but
dude, everybody loved the first beta, man.
Yeah, that beta made me like, okay, Activision, you did it again. You got another Call of Duty on your hands, which sales-wise they do. The problem is that it still feels the same. It doesn't really feel like you get a lot of different variety, except for which, for what I'm playing right now is, I've usually played with the Titan the last time. Now I'm using the other guy with the little gun or whatever.
Titan life, man. That's where I am.
I like the Titan better, but so far. But anyway, the things that what I've seen and what I've watched videos of is that people are complaining about the frames per second aspect. Look, if you like the first one, the frames per second was the same as this one. Now, if you're going out and you playing other shooters like Overwatch, Battlefield, Halo, and they're all 60, then yeah, when you go back and you play a game that's 30 frames per second, then yeah, it might feel a little bit sluggish. But I'm gonna reserve, the doubt until the actual game comes out. I mean, I said I'm going to get it. It's not a day one buy for me but I want to play it with people. I do not want to have the same experience of playing it by myself, because if it does that, then it'll be the same scenario. I just won't give a damn about it, and it'll just be a waste of money.
No trolling. How much time did you spend on the first one?
I played. Maybe about. I got to level 21, so I don't know if that says anything. I got to level 20.
Did you ever do the first raid, or you just finished the story mission stuff?
I finished the story missions, and then I finished. I don't think I finished all the story missions. I got to level 21. That's all I remember, and then I was done. And then I was like, "There's no story. There's anything on here." And then they talked about the DLC, and then that's when they said that they were going to actually add the storyline to it. And then that's when I was pissed. I'm like, "You want to charge me money to give me a complete story and then I already paid, a full price for a half story." That ruined it for me. But the actual gameplay and playing it for it, the Crucible was never something that I enjoyed. I thought it was trash. But you know what? I'm just going to say, look, if you're a Destiny fan, this is for you. If you're not, give it a chance. You know what I'm saying? Don't dog it out. Don't dog it out, because I think that's a lot of the big problems with games today. Is that a lot of gamers, if they hear one person say that it's trash, then it's trash to everybody else. And I don't like that thought process of it. If you like that game and nobody else does, then you like that game. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm going to give it a chance. Like I said, I'm playing it right now. So I'll inform you guys some more once my homework lesson is done. The show's not over.
Yeah, so. Dude, I definitely want to come back to you on this. Let me know when you are ready, because I want to see if you feel like it is a definite step up from the original Destiny. Because, like you said, you got up to level 21, so I feel like you had enough time there to see if there's a difference in your eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then last night I was explaining that I was playing with PK. With PK Live.
I remember that.
And I was explain to him, like, it wasn't no fun, because everywhere I was going, he was like, hold on, wait a minute, hold on.
Right there.
You stand right there. And then I'm like, what the hell is going on? And he's shooting, he kills everything. And I'm like, come on, let's go. Well, hey, man, let me get a chance to kill something. And so, it was just one of those things, like, when he finally let me get to a boss, and it was taking me a minute, but I was having some fun because it was challenging, right? Because I was such a low level. And then he just, like, shoots it 3 times. You was taking too long, K-Mega. I'm like, come on. And that was the last time I played it. And that was about like 3-4 months ago. So.
Nice. Don, man, I'm real interested to hear what you have to say. But first, I gotta know if you actually played the open beta, man.
I have done my homework before I got on the podcast today.
Yo, he even sent an apple to me. Yo,
you're so filthy, Don. You're messy.
Listen here, and I'll even give you my stats on the previous Destiny. I've played 28 days, 16 hours, and 23 minutes. According to Xbox Live.
You sound very proud of that, man. I have almost 70.
I don't know if I'm proud or ashamed of the situation, but it does put it in context. So obviously, I played enough. I played through DLCs. I've done multiple different raids here and there. There are times where the first, and I've said this before, there are times the first Destiny was amazing. Some of the best times I've had this generation, right? Mm-hmm. However, I've had more times playing the game being absolutely frustrated, absolutely upset, more times being bored. As a matter of fact, it's one of the games I would actually listen to podcasts and do the grind so you can level up your character. So the gameplay was good, right? Like the gameplay that's the hook, right? It is the gunplay. Is what Bungie's kind of known for there, right? But that's really, for the most part, the majority of the depth of the game. And I know there's fans of Destiny that will disagree with me on that, and that's fine. If you like the game, that's cool. I'm not here to pick a fight, but it really did lack depth, but it had those hooks that kind of kept you coming back, and you kind of kept asking yourself, why am I doing this? Right?
Yeah, I've heard many people say that.
yeah. And so, is it a cool game to hop in every once in a while, do a couple strikes, and it bounce out? That's probably the best way to consume the game, to be honest with you, versus just getting sucked in and being fully submerged in the game. I think it's a game that you kind of piecemeal. Throughout the games you rotate, and I think that's the best way to kind of consume Destiny in general. I played the Destiny 2 beta, and I have to say, visually, it looks better. It's little things like texture filtering is a little bit better. The older one had kind of a.
It looks smoother, man. It's not as grainy. You know what I'm saying?
The old one had that almost milky-ish kind of look to the textures.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily the texture resolution. It's just how they fade into visible distance and stuff like that. So the textures look crisper, and they'll also look crisper from a distance, which is good. They have a little bit more emphasis on the lighting. The lighting's a little more crisp looking. You had things like that. They also took away the dead spot in the looking around on the analog stick. The first one had a pretty heavy dead spot, and that was on all platforms. It was by game design. that they had that, and this one does not have that dead spot. So it feels a little sharper. It feels actually a little more responsive. The moving on around the board is still slow. Like, just moving around on the map, and it's going to be like that. The game was designed and engineered around 30 FPS. So even the PC, when you step it up to the 60 frames per second, it's still going to have that slow feeling to the game, even though it'll be a little smoother on the refresh.
All right.
So to me, it's a marginal step. I'm still kind of questioning if I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to get peer pressured in from other people I game with. I think honestly the deal breaker for me to kind of get my $60 is if they show X support, I'll probably buy it, no doubt.
Yeah.
If they don't do X support, I'm kind of like there's other things I'm going to be playing on my X. It's going to be taking up my time.
I think a lot of people are kind of also thinking about, well, how are they going to support this? Are they going to do the same thing that they did with Destiny 1? Because they said that they heard, everybody's kind of like feedback, and Destiny 2 is supposed to be kind of like a fix to all that. So, I mean, they didn't really put out any details in terms of how they are going to support it going forward. But I think that is a question on a lot of people's minds. One thing I did want to ask you, because you talked about the gunplay for the original Destiny. How do you feel, like, how did the gunplay feel to you in this beta, man?
It felt better than the first one, for sure. As I said, the first one had basically in the gameplay they had a dead spot built into the look around on the analog stick, and it was just very noticeable. Actually, there was a dead spot on both analog sticks, to be honest with you. So it feels sharper, it feels a little crisper, it feels a little more responsive. The turnaround speed's a little quicker too, as well, just ever so slightly. So
right,
it feels faster than the old one.
I want to cut you off there, and I'm gonna share some of my opinion real quick, and I want anybody on the panel, if you have any type of thoughts after I say this, please feel free to go ahead and grab the mic here. But when it comes to the gameplay, the gunplay per se, am I the only one that felt like the guns were light? Like there was no real kickback or anything like that? I felt like in Destiny, the first Destiny, there was more of a feeling of weight to the guns that you were holding, and I feel like the gunplay was actually really light and really loose in comparison to the first game. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
You mean like the recoil and stuff like that?
Yeah, like it didn't. It felt like we were holding toys and not necessarily holding, weapons. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that. It seemed like I don't know, like I remember like the weapons in the first Destiny. It seemed like it took a little bit more to kill some of the enemies, and maybe it's just the mode we're playing. Maybe they have it on mode or whatever. But it just seemed like it was a little easy to kill everybody in the game, except for the last the boss at the end there. But like for the most part, like empty some rounds in, they drop. And it wasn't. I didn't have to. There was no like muzzle rise of the weapons like that. Like I just put it on the target, and it was down. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like to me, the guns that I had, granted, I didn't get a chance to mess around with a lot of them. I know I got a third gun. I didn't even equip that, so I had the original default weapons, from the beta, and it just didn't feel like they had any weight to them. Yo, K Mega, as you're playing this now, what do you think, man? Does that feel that way to you?
I was just using well, it wasn't a super weapon, but it was kind of like a rocket launcher type of weapon, and it did feel kind of light. I'm over here shooting the pistol. I'm just trying to see how that feels, and it's real. It's real light feeling. It doesn't seem like the game has it's just it's. I like it. It's what I'm saying, but I never. It's not about the so much about the guns. I know some people are gun happy about these type of games, but I think Destiny's more going to be about what the story is and about the grind and playing with your friends. So, but so far I'm digging it. What I'm saying? It feels just like the last game, except it's a lot more polished. And it looks smoother, and I think the reason why it's so much smoother is because it's not held back from last gen. So I think that was the reason why the last game didn't look as good as as it could have been,
Yeah.
because this is just going straight to the new console. So,
Yo,
so far so good.
all right, I got you. Well, shout out to Stick Figure in the chat, yo. He actually said that there's been Destiny guys that have stated exactly what I said. Now, I will let people know I wasn't a big Destiny person. I am actually the main reason why Destiny wasn't in this house. Snaps wanted it, and I was like, like I saw what they were doing in terms of supporting it and kind of leaving people behind unless you got the DLC and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's not really worth it. But I am the main reason why Destiny wasn't in this house. But even with what I did play, in that game, like it felt, I don't know, it felt more real to me in terms of the gunplay. Yo, Don, what after hearing that, do you feel? Is there anything that you know? Can you feel any of that in the game when you played, or is it solid to you, man?
I think from when I experienced a game for the first time, I think it's a little bit different than say the average gamer, because I always look at it from an analytical standpoint
Mm-hmm.
in regards to it felt like when they dropped you in the game, they kind of did a little bit of that Metro Prime sort of thing, right? You started off all kind of badass, right?
Mm-hmm.
With what you have. So if you ever play Destiny, the stuff when you're leveled up and you beefed up, the recoil doesn't wander as much. That's part of the leveling up system of the game, right?
Okay.
Uh, Certain armor does that sort of. So it felt like you're like a leveled up character, right? Because if you ever play the story of it, it all makes sense, right? And then you have a moment where it seems like from the little bit they gave us that's kind of taken away, but they just give you like one random strike, and they don't want to give you a bunch of weapons because they don't want to give away the game like they did on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling like it's just a small little window of a particular leveling up they chose for the beta to get people just to kind of play it, and
So they gave the character a little more juice, basically.
yeah, so you could just feel badass for a little bit,
Well,
right?
that would.
That's
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I'm
no,
just thinking that would actually make sense because in the first two levels, right, the whole thing is about the light being taken away from what's his name? Is it not the Watcher? The
you got the legits. Yeah, the light's taken away from the main character
Yeah,
if you
and
play
and that light is what is distributed throughout the other characters, giving them their power. So it would make sense that you would go in the first two levels with your power because the main antagonist hasn't taken that light away yet. So
Yeah, they also kind of called you in to save the day, right?
yeah.
So that's kind of the legits that I got from it, and then they just kind of recycled the weapons you just got from that first mission,
Mhm.
and gave you a strike. And that strike's not it's not like the first mission or anything like that. It's just one. I think it's one random strike from the game that
I
they
didn't play
give
the
you.
strike yet. I'm gonna be on
Oh,
100% with you guys.
yeah, we should play that together, like just to see what you think about that. But and the other thing is, didn't the tutorial, like the first part of it, didn't kind of feel like the level design was very like they asked the Call of Duty team to help them out with it. Like
Yeah, I was gonna say this definitely feels like
like
God.
it feels like that. Like I was in a party with Fonz last night, and Dealer and a couple other guys, and Fonz is a huge Destiny fan, so he was like, "What do you think? What do you think?" And then it's like, and I'm playing through like the first little campaign portion. I'm like, man, this is feels like the level design feels very Call of Duty-ish at the very beginning. But I also know that's not the main part of the game. In regards to, there's some areas in the strike that feel like bland as hell too. Like and I know it's a game in progress, so I try not to judge too much because it's not a finished product.
Hmm.
Um, but there are some areas that are just like, oh, that is about as bland and boring as you can get in a game. So like, I'm hoping that's just some of that stuff is placeholders. There's moments that looks brilliant there, and there's moments that
I
it looks
See,
wall.
I think the game looks great. I love what they've done in advancing the lighting system and stuff like
Play
that.
play the first strike. There's a stark contrast from what you played at the very beginning
Hmm.
in the first strike. It
Okay.
really is. There's an area where it's just like, whoa, either that's completely out of place. you'll know that point where we're talking about it. If we play together, I'm actually curious to hear that reaction and see what you think about it. But
nice.
It's it's Destiny, and I hope they have more story. I hope they fix all these problems. Like I have hopes for that. I really want it to be a better game than the first one. And I want X support, and if I get X support and they hit those marks, I think it's a win. I think it's a win for gamers. I think it's a win for the people that they burnt on the first one to kind of win them back. It's a win to bring new people like K Mega and Xbot, that there weren't fans of the first one.
I'm pumped that there's a story to it. Like within the first two parts of,
but that's not enough to go off of though, because if you look at some of the other stuff, like there's moments in Destiny where like you have like a little area of a story and that was it. And my fear is the only story that's in the game, they kind of already showed you.
They already showed it to you.
Yeah, like in the middle, the middle might be nothing for the most part, right? And then next thing you know, then you have like a little bit at the end.
Don, am I more the cup might be half full than you are on this subject right now, man?
Well, I played the game. I played a lot of the first game, and I got burnt a lot on the first game.
Man. I better move to Utah, man. I'm bringing that positivity, yo. But Daz, man, I gotta ask you something.
Yo.
First of all, you played through the first two missions in their entirety, right? You went all the way through it.
Yeah.
All right, now I gotta ask you, man. What did you think about the villain or the antagonist for this game, dude? I'm real interested to hear that.
Not a lot, to be honest with
you. Really?
Yeah.
All right. What didn't you like about him, man?
Well, there's not a lot you can go on it. It's just like a normal enemy sort of thing. There's no special about him.
Oh wow, man! See, I actually this is good. I love getting people with kind of like different perspectives together, and, to talk on a live show. Because when it came to the antagonist, I thought that was actually one of the strengths. I thought what Bungie might have done is they might have looked over at what 343 was doing with Atriox, and they're like, I think we can pull off something like that, because from what we've seen at the end of the first two missions, and when he comes out and he talks about the light being his and stuff like that, like I really got I got a huge like Atriox feel to this dude. Like this dude is gonna be no joke trying to take down, man.
I reckon it'll be like a bit of Titanfall 2 sort of thing where it'll get fucked up halfway through it.
Oh damn!
Through the story.
I am being the most positive person on this panel when it comes to Destiny. I think this is like one of the most ironic episodes we have ever had. But yo, Pred, what did you think about like the villain, man, when he showed himself and he kind of kicked you off the ship and stuff like that?
I want to see more of his story, his backstory. I mean, I really can't comment on it too much right now.
You didn't get an impression of him when he came out like that? Because I feel like they put that in there to kind of give you that first impression, and like there wasn't anything solid, like no strength behind him or anything like.
Well, like the Don was saying, it's like, I hope this is all we get. Like it's like they gave us the whole story in this one little segment of the game. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, you want to say he's a complete badass? Yeah, he's a badass.
Oh my goodness!
But what I want to see more of his backstory, like what his purpose is and what he's trying to obtain and what he's trying to do with the guys with the the heroes of the game. So like there's not really much to tell from this little short snippet we got of the game. I want to see more of his character.
I got you, man. Yo, Don, what did you think when you kind of like met the villain of the game, man?
Yeah, it had a lot more presence. I think that's one of the big issues from the first one. It was an ambiguous goal, right? There was nothing to attach why you're on this fight. You're just like this random thing that was found out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And you now have these special space powers and
I love
floating
space powers.
All this sort of stuff, and like this gives it a little bit more grounded context, and that's good. In regards to that, because like the whatever the the white orb thing was in the middle of the city. It was always like this ambiguous thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This mystery, around it. Now there's something to it because there's some sort of connection there, in regards to all that. So it it's important to have a good hero. But in order to have a good hero, you do have to have a good villain. And a hero is nothing without a good villain, right?
Yeah.
So, I think it's one of the issues that, Halo 5 had issues with in its storyline is
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Destiny 1 because
no. But no, Destiny 1 in Halo, I'm just drawing parallels to another game, right? But I think one of the things is, you have heroes like Locke and his team, and you got Master Chief and Blue Team, which are new to the franchise, and they almost didn't really have a reason to be there because they didn't really have a strong villain. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Pushing back, and you can draw that same parallel with Destiny 1, and you just didn't really have that strong villain, and being a hero with nothing to really a real cause to fight against, you have nothing.
Yeah, Bungie didn't even know what the hell the darkness was. They came out and said that
Yeah.
afterwards. Like,
Oh, no, they did. They did. They had a whole entire like Destiny like Bible. The guy that was, I guess he apparently owned some sort of intellectual property rights around the whole thing, and he was one of the guys that was heavily involved in writing the earlier Halo stories and all that sort of stuff. I guess there was some sort of drama between Bungie and Activision and stuff like that, and he left.
and he
And
took his book with him.
he took his book and his story with him.
Going home, taking all my
So,
toys. And my
so
ball.
that's why like the story was a complete mess, and you didn't really get much until like the Taken King.
Mm.
It's no excuse, in general for the gamer, right? But that's what happened there. And so I think a lot of times people were expecting that rich, in-depth story like you would get from like a Halo game where it has these layers of depth to it, and you have a main goal of why you're there, and that's all been taken away. And so we're just left with the shell of that afterwards. So
Okay.
this is them having 2 or 3 years to kind of develop what they were left with and making something out of it.
All right. And before, like, I actually didn't expect to like spend this much time on the beta, but it's been going really good. Like the opinions have been flowing and stuff like that. I could definitely see what they're doing with Destiny 2 is they're narrowing down kind of like the universe. At first it was the darkness, and you had the Cabal and all these different groups that were kind of attached within that, and now they're really focusing on a Cabal general who decided that he was going to go out and take power for himself, and he took the light from I wish I could remember what the thing's name was.
I think they called it I don't remember if it was
the Traveler.
or,
The Traveler.
Yeah,
that's what it was, man.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. It was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't like get it out there. The Traveler, right? So they took his power, his light, which he shared with all the other characters of Destiny. So they really narrowed it down, and they're focusing on the general, and they're giving it more of a story. That's why I feel a little more positive about this. It feels like they're not going with such a grand scope of just like this overall darkness, and they're focusing on one main antagonist, which is a beast. And I feel like, dude, when I saw him at the end of these chapters, he kicked me off the ship. Like when he was kicking my ass, I wanted to whoop his ass. Like that was my thing. Like I feel like he can be one of those iconic villains when it comes to video games. I feel like he has that potential, and that's one of the main things. Even with like what I felt with the lightness of the guns and all that good stuff. At the end of playing the 2 chapters in the story, I came out satisfied, and I came out even more interested in the game. And I feel really weird saying this while K Mega's actually playing it right now. Yeah. But
yeah.
Mega, I don't know how far you are, but if you get to the point where you get to the villain of the game, I really want to hear kind of like your thoughts on him and stuff like that. It will be at the end of the 2 chapters though, so keep that in mind.
Done it by now.
Oh no, man! There's some grind in there, dude. There's some grind.
It's
man.
not that long.
That one little hallway between the 2 doors when the freaking the yellow life bar dude came out, like I died a couple times there, man.
It's going to take a while if all you do is hit the A button. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. I have a feeling that the next topic might be fairly quick, but I really want to touch on this. It's something else that has been, talked about in social media, Twitter, and stuff like that. Because a game by Epic has come out, and it's called Fortnite. And I will let you guys know right now. Me and O Snaps, we put down the $40 on the digital version, and we have the game. I will also say that me and O Snaps have had a blast with the little bit of time that we have had with the game so far. Because with her work schedule, and then I told you guys off air everything that I'm doing in terms of my channel and stuff like that. But it is a lot of fun. And the thing is, it's $40 for the digital purchase. But it is it's slotted to be a free-to-play game in 2018, and I believe it was All Day, talking to All Day last night on GRG, that he said it would be free-to-play in November of 2018. So that's over a year away. And I just want to get, our special guest and the panel's thoughts on this whole charging $40 for it now and then letting it go free to play like over a year from now. So let's hit up Daz real quick. Yo, Daz, what do you think about this Fortnite situation? Do you think it's I don't know, fair to gamers that like they're coming out with it now, they're charging $40 for it. Basically, you're paying $40 to play it for a little over a year before it goes free to play. How do you feel about that as a gamer, man?
It's half and half. It's kind of a bit, but you got them gamers that are gonna get it if they want it. But also, I can't really comment because I've got to give a shout out to Reckless on Twitter in the chat because he gave me a free code for it.
Can random people just come in here and play with you?
Dude, I knew you were gonna set K Mega off.
Yeah, I know you did. No. What happened is on the. Here, go on, K.
No. What I was saying is that can just random people just come in and play with you? Because I'm over here. I look like I'm in a part where I'm holding the line, and there's people in here fighting with me. Or is that the computer?
Are you at the very beginning still?
Oh, that's AI.
Yeah, there's AI in the very beginning, and then when you do the strike, there's other people that can play with you.
Well, okay. Well, these look like they playing like they're real people. I don't know.
Yo, the AI does some sick shit within those first two missions, man.
Pretty tough AI in that.
Okay. All right, cool shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going. Yeah, I didn't hear what dude said.
Yo, K Mega, Dad's got a free copy of Fortnite from somebody from the community, and
man, you know what? I will say this. I had the pleasure of getting something free for the first time from a guy named Frank Rodriguez,
Jeffrey behind a dumpster, was it?
Jeffrey Rodriguez, and no, he gave me the ultimate version of Injustice, but I already had it, so so big shout out to him, man, and I gave it to a kid because he didn't have it, and so I gave it to a coworker, and his kids don't have only but like he said 3 games. So I was like, man, here, take this Injustice, man. And then I got another one of Sunset Overdrive, but that was from a random person. And I gave that to this kid from Australia that I talk to all the time. Well, not all the time, but he's this little kid. He just popped into my party one day and he started talking to me and stuff. And he said he didn't really have a lot of friends. And so it's kind of weird because I'm a grown ass man and I don't know this kid, but I'm like, hey man, and so he said that he didn't have Sunset Overdrive, so I just gave him that code, man. But
nice.
Yeah, anybody want to give me some free stuff, man? Hell, I want Fortnite.
You're just gonna re-gift it and give it to somebody else.
No. If I don't have the game, I'm going to keep it and I'm going to play it and appreciate it. But if I already got the game, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all got Fortnite for me, you know what I'm saying? K-Mega is not opposing of is mooching. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, Mooch can do it.
Well, I have been trained by the master when it comes to mooching. I've thrown that out there. I don't know how many times, man. My brother, the Mooch, the guy who gave me my shot, to have a mic and to talk live about games every week. My very my very first shot, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he was like, "Man, this is what you got to do." Gave me the guidelines and stuff, and I'm just kind of running away with it, man. I'm hoping, the student can become greater than the teacher
The
at some point
teacher,
in time,
yes, yes,
But
yes,
but Dad, so
yes.
I gotta get back to the topic here, and
Yeah, back
Daz,
to it.
you said it's not that big of a deal, and you really can't say too much because you got a free copy. Now here's the thing:
Yeah,
when
but
hold on one
yeah,
second,
go
man.
on.
All right,
Yeah,
I just want to let people in the chat know when you go and get like the $80 version of this game, then you get a free copy that you can share with a friend. If you get a $150 version, you actually get two standard copies that you can give to friends or do
Oh,
whatever
that's
you want
cool.
with. All right,
Yeah.
so they are doing things like that, which is really cool. I hope more developers do stuff like that. Really encourage like kind of getting people together and playing the game, especially when it comes to digital, because it's not as much money as getting that physical disc manufactured and everything like that.
Right.
But Des, if this becomes a trend where if developers are like, yeah, this game we're releasing it now for like $40 or whatever, and then a year from now it's going to be free to play. How would you feel if this becomes a trend, though? Do you think that this would be something that gamers would kind of like absorb and accept, or do you think people would actually get like kind of like tired of shit like that, man?
again, I think that's half and half because not a lot of people can afford the foot like $180 or whatever it is. You know what I mean for the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with me. What happened with Fortnite was I watched shout out to House Snaps. I watched their stream yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Then I watched Macca's stream later on, and that concreted it for me. I actually put on Twitter I was going to buy Fortnite the week after. That's when Reckless asked me if I had it, pre-ordered it, so he sent me the offence code. So
Nice.
I was going to buy it anyway.
All right.
Nice.
So you were gonna jump in, and did
Yeah,
you know that it was gonna be free to play down the line?
yeah,
All right. So
yeah. I knew it was going to be free to play, but it was what I saw of it off the both streams.
Mhm.
I wanted it. I got more and more into it.
Dude, it is an awesome game. Have you tried it out yet?
Yeah, I played it this morning. I can't wait a year for that shit. You know what I mean? So basically,
So what did you think? Did you like it, man? Do you feel it's
yeah, it's
gonna
awesome. It's awesome. I'm going to spend a lot of time on it tomorrow.
nice.
So
Yo, I'm gonna go down the list now. Yo, Predator, man, what do you think about this whole thing where developers will come out with a game for like $40 or so? Do you have any interest in Fortnite? First and foremost, man.
I looked at a little bit of footage before the podcast today, and it's not really my type of game. I think it's one of those games I would play if I had a lot of friends that are playing it.
Okay.
Like more of a social setting. That's just me. But as far as the first question you asked, I think we're kind of doing that now. It's kind of more subtle. If you think about it, like games on EA Access go. I mean, EA games go to EA Access. They become free games in a sense with EA Access. Pay your $5, you play the game. A lot of games we get on Xbox Live end up coming free at some point in time. I guess the difference here is they're telling you in advance, like, well, we're going to make this game free to play in a
at
year.
least you know what you're getting.
Yeah, and like it's an option. I mean, if you want to wait for a game to come out for free on Xbox Live or um, or on EA Access or in Game Pass in that case, um, you could go that route. But if you know you're going to pay $40 for a game up front to play it, I mean that's just some people just like they like playing games, man. They want to play a game. It's as soon as it comes out, they don't want to wait, and this just gives buyers another option. I don't like the trend
Yeah,
personally. I don't want to be like, okay, well, Madden's coming out. Do I want to wait until next year to get it? Do I want to play it now when everyone else is playing it? You know,
Mhm.
I'd rather just get it now. If this was a game I was interested in buying, of course I'd buy it. But knowing that a year time I can get it for free, because it's like a game that I'm gonna push in the back burner anyway. I just wait. I have enough stuff in my backlog right now. A lot of stuff coming out here throughout the rest of the year. They're gonna keep me occupied, so I can actually wait on this game. But if it was like a drought time and it came out, like let's say, the post E3 drought that we're having right now, and this game came out then, I would definitely pick it up. Especially if it was free at that point in time, I'd play it. I play anything for free. So
Mhm.
in this case, Yeah, in this case, it's like a $40 game. Um, and if I had the option to buy it right now, personally, I'd wait just because I have so much other shit. A console I need to buy, at least 4 or 5 games for that. And this to me, if I had to rack and stack the game, this would be like a C level game for me. Whereas my A level games I buy day one. B level games I wait till I get some reviews and hear some good or bad stuff about it. I pick those up. C level games I pick up when I'm just bored and I don't feel like I don't have anything to play. So this is one of those games I would wait and I'd pick up later.
Yeah,
Hmm.
a little bit of
Yeah. What
insight
you?
into
Sorry.
Predator's mindset here with the A, B, and C's. But I'm sorry, Des. Go ahead, man.
Right. If the situation was this a year, 3 or 4 years ago, with Rise, Son of Rome, yeah,
Yeah,
would
okay.
you wait a year to play that?
With
Because I
Rise
would.
Son of Rome,
Yeah, just for an example, it's the same as Star Wars as well. I knew, like you said, I knew it was going to come in EA in the EA vault,
you want to hear
but
something funny?
I
I
wanted that
just
game
finished
now.
Rise the other day. I bought that game at launch. I never played it. I got about halfway through it,
Jeez.
and my backlog started packing up. I put it to the side. I started playing
Yeah.
another game. So like in that scenario, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
like I just finished Rise
But
like last week.
yeah, but what if I started doing this with games like Rise, AAA games? I couldn't wait a year to play that while everyone else is. I
Not
want
for a
that bad
AAA
boy right
game.
now.
No, I wouldn't wait for a AAA game. Like if Forza comes out, they did that, and if they told me it was gonna be free in a year, hell no. I want Forza now. I
Yeah.
want Halo.
So it's the same principle. Are you still buying that game now, knowing it's going to be free in a year or two?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
if this was a AAA game, I was really again Xbox had it, he's bought it. So like if it's a game I want, I mean, you got wants and needs. If it's a game I fucking want, I'm buying it. It doesn't matter when it comes out;
Yeah.
it's gonna be free down the road. But in this situation with this specific game, it's not a game that I think I'd be interested in paying forty
Yeah.
dollars for. If I had a okay, put it this way, if I had like a 10-hour trial and I played it, even knowing it was free later down the road, if I had a 10-hour trial and I love that game, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
If I had a 10-hour trial and I hate that game, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait till 2018 when it comes out and get the shit for free.
So,
Yeah.
I got a question for you, and this is in the context of what we're talking about. So, I have a copy on PC,
Hmm.
and it feels like a polished, finished game at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm playing a beta on the PC side of things. Is it the same for console? Does it feel like a finished, polished game?
When you're actually in game, yeah, it definitely does. There's a few kind of like hiccups and stuff like that when you're in the menu, and I'm not sure if you're dealing with that on the PC side, where like
No.
you'll go to click on something and it'll take like a couple seconds for it to register to activate or whatever it does and stuff like that. So the menus in and of themselves, they feel a little flaky right now, but the actual gameplay itself is rock solid, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it
rock
looks
solid.
really good for a game that's in beta. It looks really good from what
So
I've
it's
seen.
not really. In some ways, it's not like what we traditionally think of as a beta, right?
No,
Um,
I feel like it's a
this
finished
is
game.
more. It's more like a rough launch uh, quality of a game at this point.
Mhm.
Would that be a
Or
fair
if there's
assessment?
such a thing, a full demo.
A full demo.
Yeah.
I could definitely go with the kind of like I guess you could say rough launch scenario. Like I said, the
Okay.
gameplay itself feels very solid. It could use like an update or two to kind of make its menus a little more responsive. But to be really honest with you, once you get into the game, you're not really coming out and back into the menus a lot. Like you're building on the fly in real time while you're fighting like the what they call the husks, which are the enemies that come from the storm and stuff like that. So you're doing a lot of stuff in real time as you're there's no like real little like there's no menus popping up and stuff like that at that point in time. So it'll take like maybe an update or two for like the beginning menu to get into the game. But other than
So,
that, yeah, it's solid.
so the reason why I bring this up because yes, it's going to be free to play down the road, but at least they're upfront about it. Even though they buried it a little bit, I think on their site after the fact, when they start charging what they call early access, and I say that with air quotes, right?
Mhm.
But you're getting a rough launch game, but it's a complete game essentially, right?
Yeah.
Um, And would you say the gameplay? I think it's worth $40. I think it's the value's there, right?
Oh, definitely.
Even if they didn't even do free to play down the road, would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
And
I
I
definitely
was
say
gonna
it's
say
worth it.
this too. Like you gotta think about it though. Like people like Xbot and the other guys who've actually purchased this game, that's helping them develop and fix this game for the for the free to play version that comes out. So this is all it's a plus for the developers for them to actually. It's like putting a game like We Happy Few in the preview program. Like you're paying, you're in it, you're paying for it now, but everyone else is gonna reap the benefits of it
That's a
later on.
great point,
Full
man.
game is released.
That is a great point. And another way I'm looking at it is like it's going to be free to play. Like I said, a little over a year from now, I'm going to have a little more than a year to play in it, to build up my characters, to unlock the legendary characters, to get my base built up and stuff like that. I'll be playing it for over a year before it's free for everybody else. I am going to come up with some crazy ass
Well,
shit in this game.
but here's the other part of that, right? Some games die after a certain period of time. They don't have those legs, right? Do
Yeah, I was
you
about to
think
say
this?
that too.
Yeah. Do you think this game's going to have those legs? Like I've played it, I've enjoyed it, but I always look at it from the perspective of competition of other things I want to play down the road, and I actually kind of get irritated with games that don't have a sense of completion, which is kind of this always service based model that we're kind of moving towards as a gamer. And so I can only do so many service based style games, in the amount of time that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I I have to have some sort of mix of games that I feel like I accomplish, and then after a while, are these service based games? They're going to be in tough competition a year from now because we don't know what's coming out. Anthem's coming out in a year.
All right,
Yeah,
first
Like
of
that's
all,
going
Halo
to swallow
might
up
come
total
out next
time.
year.
Yeah, Halo.
First of all, here's the deal. First of all, I feel that it's coming from Epic Games, and there's people out there, there's a community out there that want games coming out from them, right? I have a feeling with the way this is, the customization, the creativity, and everything like that. I feel like there will at least be a dedicated community out there, kind of like those forgers in Halo, or people that really go in and play Minecraft. You beat Minecraft when you kill the Ender Dragon or whatever, but how many people really go into Minecraft to kill the Ender Dragon? Not too many. All right, they go in to be creative, to build stuff, and to show it off a lot as well. I feel like
Do you know
this.
what the funny thing is?
What's up, Daz?
Sorry, the funny thing is, I detest Minecraft. Yeah, I
I'm the only one out of
absolutely,
my friends that actually likes Minecraft. I swear, yo.
I absolutely detest Minecraft. But I like this game as a building game. Figure that out.
Uh, I can actually see that because with Minecraft you do have it's a graphic style that won't adhere to certain people. You know what I'm saying? It's very
Yeah.
boxy and stuff like that. And when you first look at it, you don't necessarily realize how in depth you can get with Minecraft. And I know like there's tons of Minecraft YouTubers out there. I mean, people have made computers and all sorts of
Yeah, they all
shit.
smoke weed as well.
Oh
So
my
they're
goodness.
off the reds.
But with this game, it is more polished graphically. There is an element when it comes to like this storm. I feel like it's what they call aesthetically pleasing a lot more than Minecraft, because
Yeah.
I think the husks are very creative in terms of enemies. I like the fact that they're kind of like wearing human skin. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Like they're wearing human skin, and like the head skin, like the skin that would be on the human's head,
It's like a hoodie.
is like a hoodie, yo. It's freaking awesome to me, yo. But the just colorful, very smooth in terms of like the textures and stuff like that. It's a well developed game in my opinion, and
It's got a Plants vs Zombie feel about it as well.
dude, that's exactly what
Yeah.
I said. I said PvZ Garden Warfare, right?
Yeah.
Minecraft, and the smoothness of like the Overwatch character models. You take those three things, you slam them together, and you have
You
Fortnite.
got a game.
That's
Yeah.
Fortnite in my opinion. At least graphically, it's what it is. Let's go to Mega over here. I think he's having too much fun playing Destiny 2 right now. So I want to ask him.
Should have completed it by now.
Is that what you want to call that? I don't know. Can you tell me? No.
Well, did you finish the first 2 missions yet, man?
I think I'm at the end of this one mission. I'm on top of a ship, and I'm where it's got a lot of guns going off and stuff.
Yeah, you're getting there, man. You're almost there. So while you are there, all right, we're gonna test your multitasking skills right now. All right, we're gonna ask you about Fortnite. Now, Fortnite released for $40. In November of 2018, it's gonna be a free to play. The first question I want to ask is if you have interest in this game, if you've seen any gameplay, how you feel about that. But then I really want to know how you feel about this setup where, you pay now and then a little over a year it's going to be free to play. Is this a practice that you would accept if it becomes kind of like a thing within the gaming industry?
I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I could see the reason why they're doing that. I was hearing what Don was saying earlier about games not having longevity after so long. But I think that there would be enough people that would give the game more legs once it became available for free. And then also it's like I'm just like I'm like Predator. I think that was Predator that was saying he likes to buy his games right then and there if it's the game that he wants the most. And Fortnite is just not one of those games that I want like day one, but I want to play it. It looks cool all day. Just he swears by it, and then now hearing you talking about it as well. So I want to play it, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like Friday the 13th. Everybody was telling me to play Friday the 13th, but I couldn't play it. You know what I'm saying? I never got a chance to play it, so it kind of pissed me off, and I got my money back for it, but. With Fortnite, if it's feeling complete, if the game is cool, I want to play it with other people. Those type of games, if you play those games by yourself, the experience is going to be terrible, and it'd be just a waste of $40. And so I would rather wait for free. But I think it's a smart strategy by them because the games like that are a dime a dozen, and everybody wants to have that Overwatch look and kind of go and because that's the new hypeness right now. Mm-hmm. So in order for to keep that game going, I don't see anything really wrong with it. If they did that with like I don't know, like with Tekken or something, then I would be kind of like, oh shit, I'd be a little nervous. Like, well, what's wrong with Tekken? Well, you just can't sell it. Just retail price the whole
that's
time.
A great point right there. Like, what is up with this game? What are the developers thinking to the point where they already have it slotted when it's going to go free to play? Like that, I've thought about that, man.
Yeah, and then also it's kind of like if you think about, what do I get if I'm a person that bought an $89 version, right? And I gave a copy to a friend, and then a year later, they have like a whole bunch of, not DLC, but you can call it DLC or just pay to play type of stuff. And you would think that if you paid the $89 for that game, that you would get everything that's going to be available for free. But they could add on more stuff over time that you have to pay for in order to level up or to keep your level at a high rank, because you would think that they would have to dumb you down or something of that nature in order for other people to feel like they have an opportunity or a chance to be at your same level or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Because
you get this in everything. You even get it in Ultimate Edition games. It's not Ultimate Edition because you don't get everything.
Yeah, so and so that's the only concerns that I have. But I mean, if people want to get it now and pay the money for it, then that means that was one of the grade A games, and hey, go for it. But for me, it's not one of those games that it has to be a day one buy. So I would wait. I would probably get it somewhere in between because I'm pretty sure that they will sell it for a cheaper price on, like a Games for Gold deal or something like that.
Hey, you never know, man. People know you within the community. Maybe somebody will go out and get that $80 one, and they might throw you the standard edition, man.
Hey man, yeah, we could stream it, man. We could do it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm mooching, man. Hook a brother
Young
up,
Padawan, man. All right, well, yo, Don, did you share your complete thoughts on this subject? What would you like to add to this, man?
I don't know. Like, here's the thing: is there's nothing wrong with charging it if the game it feels like a complete game, right? Because they're giving you something for your money, right?
Yeah.
I think the whole idea of free to play is because the game is truly dependent on people to co-op with, right? Is to preserve the value for the people that did originally pay at the beginning. If that makes any sense, because you imagine you pay for a game and you love it, but other people have moved on, right? So when you release something free to play, you get this another influx of people that are going to be playing the game that may have passed up on it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really what business strategy is from Epic and how they're doing it. And realistically, you kind of look at the situation either half full or half empty. That's up to you as the consumer, right, to determine which one's which. But I think they have the most honest intentions on it. It's always nice to see maybe a little smoother launch than the stuff that you're describing there, Xbot, with your experience. But you seem to be enjoying what you paid for, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. At the end of the day, man, my kind of like final thoughts on this. First of all, it's Epic Games. Epic Games they do have a cult following. If you look within the industry, there are people that follow absolutely everything this studio does, and they came out with a game. I have a feeling there is going to be a community there for a while. You put that together with kind of like the Minecraft elements, and I saw some of the bases like Epic came out with a video on YouTube showing some of the creativity when it comes to the bases. Somebody had a base that looked like a skull, and the way you lay down the traps and stuff like that. I have a feeling if K Mega gets in to play this game, the way you lay down the traps, how easy it is, but how creative you can get and stuff like that. I have a feeling even Mega will be hooked on that aspect of the game.
I'll play it. I'll play it. I'll play anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially, if it's free. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. Definitely do that. But yeah, I know I'm not that type. I'm not that anal to where somebody can tell me a game is hot, and even if it looks like it's not my cup of tea, I'll still give it a shot because sometimes it's not all about the game looking pretty. It's more, it could be about the gameplay, and that's the beauty of the
game. All gameplay.
You know
it's all gameplay.
And that's sometimes way more important than just the game looking pretty.
And it's funny because this is a pretty game, but the gameplay itself is where I feel it shines. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just the smoothness of going from attacking your enemies, having hordes coming at you, and you're taking them out. But then all of a sudden, they took out, a wall on your base. So you go into, build mode real quick. You build a wall, but then you're like, while you're at it, you go to the other side and you throw in a trap, and then go like right back into shooting the guy. It's just seamless, man. It just flows.
Yeah. Xbot, be honest. You just like the game because you can ride a Segway.
Dude,
I'm riding the fucker with him then.
You caught me,
because
man.
It's fucking awesome. As soon as you get into that game, you're fucking hooked. Don't this shit unless you try it. That's what I say.
I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun. I can't wait for O-Snaps to come home. I think we're gonna go in. I'm gonna go into her world. You can actually name your base. I named my base the Land of Neutrality. And
mine's the Ministry.
Oh.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a lot of creativity, a lot of customization, stuff like that in the game, and that's kind of things right down my alley. You can tell just by watching this podcast, I like to be creative. But guys, are you ready to get a little messy here? You guys ready to get a little messy here? Because I have a feeling it's time for the main topic. And oh man, if you're a part of Twitter and you're a part of the community, I know you guys have seen a whole bunch of information where people are coming out and they're talking about the One X and they're talking about native 4K, and then they're comparing it with the PS4 Pro and 1440p with checkerboarding and all this good stuff. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am tired, uh, absolutely tired of seeing this whole resolution thing. I don't know who's eating candy right now, but I can hear the rapper. I'm just
Ah, that's
saying.
me. My bad.
Not me.
Twizzlers,
I'm
man.
drinking beer.
All right, but here's the deal, man. I'm looking at this and I started comparing it to the beginning of this generation, and I came up with a theory, and I want to share with everybody in the chat, and I want to hear the panel's opinions on this. When it comes to the PlayStation 4 Pro, there's a lot of people dogging the shit out of this system because it's not doing quote unquote native 4K. It's 1440p with a checkerboard and stuff like that. But I remember when I got my launch Xbox One and seeing games like Call of Duty at 900, where in the PS4 side it was 1080. I had no problems with this, right? So I gotta ask you guys, and you know what? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with K Mega here. Yo, Mega, when it comes to this type of stuff and talking about native resolution as opposed to upscaling and checkerboard, how do you feel when I say the PS4 Pro, in comparison, is exactly like the launch Xbox One?
I feel that that's bullshit.
Really?
Look, man. This is the generation of a lot of comparisons to absolutely nothing. I said this on GRG about just like everything Xbox does. It has to be scrutinized. It's the times to where Xbox has got to get hated, and the Pro, it to me, the Pro is the baloney of the fucking gaming of gaming. It's like, okay, you want steak or do you want bologna? If you get what you pay for, you went ahead and you bought a Pro, and the Pro is like, you go and get a thing of bologna. I'm saying, it's $1.25. I'm going to go ahead and get it. Well, you're going to be shitting bricks here in a little bit because that's not quality meat. But if you want to get some steak, then the Xbox X is going to be right there available for you. And so when people bitch about the price point, or people bitch about, the Pro is going to be $400 less and things of that nature, it's going to be $100 less. Then you know what? I beg to differ, because if you think about tax and everything else, you get what you pay for. Look, man, it's confusing because people want to ramble and talk about all this other bullshit, and it's really all about the games and all about this. I'm sick of talking about it. Really, I really am.
I got you, but see, this is what I'm saying, man. You're talking about bologna and steak, right? The beginning of this generation, and I am being absolutely truthful here. There was more native 1080p games on the PS4, right? When it came down to it, especially multiplats, man, we've talked about it for like 3 years going on, right? I never had a problem with a 900 upscale to 1080, even a 720 upscale to 1080, whatever native resolution. I knew with my Xbox One, it was upscaled to 1080, and a lot of people within the Xbox community were saying the same thing. So now, with the PS4 Pro out, right? The price point, it's going to be cheaper than the Xbox One X, and I am excited for the One X. I don't want anybody to get it twisted, but man, to me, it's just like a mirror in the opposite direction. Like it's like the PS4 Pro now is doing the upscaling that we ourselves said there was no problem with the first 3 years. Right? Now, all of a sudden, social media. Why is it flipped around and everybody is throwing that native resolution out there when before that it was okay to be upscaled? Like, you remember to launch Xbox One, it came with a Kinect. It was $100 more. right?
Right.
I had no problem with that. I love my Kinect. I had no problem with any of the games that came out for the past 3 years in terms of what people were touting out there, in terms of resolution and stuff like that. Why should I now switch over and talk about native 4K when I was happy with my Xbox One and what it did in terms of upscaling, man?
Oh, you still talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, man. I don't know. I'm playing this. I'm playing this, and so I'm kind of lost on it. I've heard everything that you were saying.
I'm not gonna ask all fluff questions. There's gonna be times where the questions get in, man. You know?
Yeah. No. Look, that's the thing. That's the problem. People have confused themselves because at one moment everything was about power and it was about 1080p, this native, all of that, right? 720p was garbage. That's the reason why that Xbox games didn't sell as well and all of that garbage, right? Now the Pro is the weaker system compared to the X, and people are talking about the money factor. See, the narratives has changed so much from the PlayStation side that hell, I don't know which direction that they're going to go. You don't know, because in 1 minute it was about indies. Then now it's about games. Then it was about they had the most powerful system. Now they don't have now it's about the games again. Look, man, it's like I said, it's really worthless. It's a worthless point to bring up because you still will have people that will debate you on it at all times. I'm you know what I'm saying? It's just move on to somebody else.
let me ask. I can answer this question for you, Xbox.
Go ahead, Brad.
You ask him why. Why does it matter now? Is because we've been taught that it should matter. Like we've been told for this whole generation that resolution matters, and so we're getting stuck with all this media bias BS, and you got to have 1080p. And we were told we're getting certain things on certain systems when these systems launched. We were told we're getting 1080p 60 on the PlayStation 4 when they first came out. Now we're being told we're going to get 4K 60 on the Xbox. So like it's supposed to matter because we've been told it's supposed to matter, and we're getting so used to that now, and it's taking the fun out of actually gaming. We're so focused on stupid shit like Jaggies on a fucking pole in the background instead of being focused on the games.
Man. Nice circle right there. I like that. You brought that all the way back around.
I did. You like that?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the whole point. Like we sit up here and we watch these videos, and we sit up here and listen to these rants, and we sit here, we listen to these podcasts, and we listen to IGN, all these other outlets and stuff like that. And we're told that this stuff matters. I mean, you remember that graphic from the dude from IGN, 1080p over 900p? He's got his hands up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot, was it Greg Miller? Like that was the beginning of it right there. It was supposed to matter from that point on. We've been told it's supposed to matter from that point on, and so it's just carried over into these next consoles. It's going to carry over into the next consoles unless we all have a base system, like not say base system, but like a base. If everything was 4K 60. Both systems were 4K 60 all day, every day. What else will we argue about?
You know, I understand what you're saying here, man. Pred, and you make some very valid points. Here's the thing. I absolutely love the gaming community I am in, right? So when these guys, first of all, big media, big gaming media in their bias, I understand that. I will call that out whenever I see it. But here's the deal. Why are we letting them dictate what we talk about? You know what I'm saying? When the narrative changed, right? They were talking about power and resolution and stuff like that. But we were talking about games and the enjoyment of games and gameplay and stuff. Why are we letting them switch it up? Why are we switching it up now and talking about the same shit that they talked about for 3 years that we defended against? Do you see what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people that are imposters by it. It's no different than anything. Look at how many hypocrites have we ran into since we've been doing podcasts. It's been so many people that has been one moment they'll be in this chat. I can remember it. They'll be in listening to in the comment section, and they'll be the first ones to come in when everything seems to be great and grand. And then one time they'll have a bunch of people that will just come out and say and slam something. Let's just say like for Crackdown, for instance, and they'll slam it. Then all of a sudden you don't see those people in the comment section no more. And then they're on the other side talking about how great PlayStation is. Those are hypocrites. Those are people that have never been true to the cause in the first place. They should just call themselves neutrals. And that's fine. I'm a neutral to a certain extent, but fuck, I have a preference, and it's the Xbox. I don't care about the MPDs. I don't care about Metacritic scores. I don't care about what your system can do better than mine that I prefer, because I am happy with what I purchased. That's it.
Exactly. Fuck them.
So,
how fucked up it's got.
So stay true to the game. If you're happy with the Xbox brand, then damn it, show it, appreciate it. When somebody comes to you and say Crackdown looks like shit,
which it doesn't. It fucking doesn't.
No. But all you do to shut them up is it's get it, stream the game, show the game, show when people buy games and do an unboxing, show that you don't care about that. The problem is that when they hear the rhetoric long enough, they start believing it themselves, and that's why these PlayStation and these PC people that hate the Xbox brand, they keep on doing it because it's been working. Have some fortitude about yourself. Have some strong mental capability to understand that. Look, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm about this brand. This is what I chose. This is what I like. You like the PlayStation? Be cool. I got nothing wrong with you saying Persona is the best game of this generation. I don't care.
But rep it, play it. Show it.
Play it.
Yeah.
Show it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it. Don't tell me that, oh, well, Persona sold better than anything that the crap box is sold over there. Okay, well, show me the gameplay. And you don't hear shit. They're gone.
Dude, I remember you posed that to a few people, and they had nothing to offer after.
Yeah. Back with names. So that's just the thing right there, man. That's what I'm saying. It's frustrating to me. Look, we're all gamers at the end of the day, and we all have a preference. You know what I'm saying? But damn it, my preference is the Xbox, and you're not going to make me feel like that I should feel bad about my purchase. Fuck you. Go move around. Go to the next weekling. I'm happy about my shit. I got the PlayStation right here next to me. I got my PC right here, and they both got plenty of games. And you know what? My Xbox is on 90% of the time, while that PlayStation, I turn it on every once in a while to play a couple of games. I get bored, and then I turn it off. I play on my PC more than I play on my PlayStation. I play on my Xbox primarily. It's my number one console. Get over it.
Yeah, definitely. The Xbox is definitely the number one console in this house. I do play the PS4. Unfortunately, we haven't played the Switch a lot. We do have
Strange
Mario Kart and stuff like that. But I know O Snaps was waiting for Splatoon 2. We took part in kind of like that little kind of like timed beta, a couple months back. Had a lot of fun with that. But my whole thing is, all right, and this is something, and one thing I give to my subscribers, my followers, my friends, just about to everybody, I believe in honesty. And so when I think about something and I try to use logic and stuff like that, and I see people kind of like, because now we have the more powerful console coming out, I see people using the narrative that's been used against us for 3 years. And to me, that doesn't... I know about that whole revenge factor. I'm not a big believer in revenge. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that our community is filled with a bunch of intelligent gamers as well, right? And I want us to shine. I want us to be able to dictate what we're talking about and stuff like that. And I want us to get away from this whole resolution thing, because there's so much more that we can talk about when it comes to gaming. Like, I'm excited for
games. Not fucking resolution. Games.
I'm excited for the One X, for the fact that it's gonna do better in terms of graphical fidelity. It's not the overall resolution, but like the textures, the lighting, shadows, everything like that is going to make even the games I have now look that much better. Because to a certain extent, I like pretty graphics. Not saying that the games look like dog shit before time. I'm like, damn, I wonder how much better they're going to look now. You know what I'm saying? But
you want something for your dollar, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be honest. You're spending $500 on something. Yeah. It better be giving you something, right? Mm-hmm. That you can notice. that's kind of my take on it. I hear you, Bot. Like, honestly, pixel fill rate is not the only thing that dictates better graphics, right? It never has been the only thing that dictates better graphics, right? It's just always been this thing that Digital Foundry has kind of latched themselves on. The communities of early adopters between both consoles fought over, right? I mean, if you look at it at a nutshell, that's what we've been dealing with, right? Now, I'm in the camp where I say, I'm not going to be the one that says you can't tell the difference between 720p, 900p, 900p, 1080p. I can tell you the margins between those are relatively small, and some people can notice it, and a lot of people can't. Actually, believe it or not, right? And as that number gets bigger, there's two things that happen with pixel fill rate, right? The first is you, the thresholds where people actually can see the differences in different pixel fill rates is different for everybody, right? I mean, there's some people that can't tell the difference between certain frame rates sometimes, right? So, same thing with how many pixels are on the screen. So some people can tell the difference if something's native 4K versus something 1440, right? And some people some people have a hard time with those thresholds. But the key thing about 4K, and the reason why every television manufacturer, including Sony, including Samsung, you fill in the gap, right? Have focus on 4K because that is the magical number where everyone can notice the difference. You're casting the biggest possible net for people
All
to
right.
visually see a difference.
Don, I'm going to cut you off right here. I understand what you're saying, and we've been through this before. All right, what I'm saying is when I bought my launch Xbox One, which I know a lot of people out there in social media have done as well, I enjoyed my games no matter what the native resolution was, being upscaled to fit my 1080p screen. So
Mhm.
now to see kind of like the lash out going towards the PS4 Pro for doing 1440, right? To me, that is 1440 to upscale to 4K is the equivalent of 900 to 1080 within their
Uh,
rightful spaces, right?
I
All
can't
right.
really even I can't even draw that same parallel because the number gap is so different between what you're
Well, you're
talking
looking at
about
20,
there.
was it 2160 when it comes to 4K, right?
Hmm.
All right, so
Hmm.
1440p. I know the numbers are greater, but when it comes to say your top of the line threshold is 1080p, right? Kind of like your second one down is 900. Now, when you look at 4K, your second one down would be like about 1440. All right. I know there's different resolutions, but we've also dealt with that with the launch Xbox as well when it comes to Titanfall, right? What I'm saying is there is no difference.
Oh,
There is no difference with the PS4 Pro in comparison to the Xbox One when the Xbox One was going up against the PS4. And at that point in time, everything was cool when it comes to upscaling, right? Now, like I don't know if people realize they are letting kind of like the Sony extremists dictate our own arguments. Like if we were talking about games, gameplay, fun factor, and stuff like that for the first 3 years, that's what we should be talking about now
Well,
going into the future.
I do believe there's a fan base that's a little bit more jaded and rather butt heads. I mean, I don't disagree with that or anything like that, but the parallel, there's too much of a gap to draw that same parallel. I mean, I can't in regards to that, and just as much as me that it's not just pixel fill rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about other things that have been added to it, right? Better lighting, better shadows, better textures. And I've always, buy what you can notice, right? The proof's in the pudding, right? you know, I'm not going to dictate to somebody, hey, that you can't see 1440 versus 4K, right? You can't see that difference, right? You
Okay.
decide that for yourself. You go into a store, and if you can visually see the difference, and you have $600 in your pocket, you can afford both. So you need to decide what is it really worth it to you or not, and that's up to the consumer really to decide that. But there is a difference, between the two different resolutions. There is a difference in the capabilities of what you can do in textures. They
Mm.
are different systems. I would say the PS4, and this is not me knocking on the Pro. I've always been a more pro component than even you bought, right? I've always said get the Pro if you're
Yeah.
going to be investing in a PlayStation. You know, I've always had that stance.
Yeah, well, and
Yep.
then see the one thing that kind of changed it with is something you told me as well. A few weeks back, and we're starting to see it now with games that are coming out. My huge thing about the Pro was, when running a game in comparison with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, it seemed like they were sacrificing performance to get into a higher resolution. That was my big thing about the Pro, where I called it a cash grab. Do you remember that, Don?
Yeah,
And you said
but
over time, like the developers will iron out that stuff, and you'll see it kind of go away. And we're
have you
seeing
seen that now?
and we're seeing
Yeah,
that.
so I've always been pro component. If you're invested into that ecosystem, get the Pro. I get it. I understand why people do that. I'm not gonna buy an X and rub it in their nose. I've never been that guy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But if you want to ask me if there's a difference, there is. There's a substantially noticeable difference. And this is not a knock on the Pro. The Pro is a half step. It really is. And then that's not a knock. That's what it is.
Mhm.
It is the in betweener to what they're going to be doing next.
All right. Let me just shout
But
out. Hold on 1 second, man. Let me shout out Lethal Papa in the chat. Lethal, man, you are my brother, man. And you put in the comment, you were like, and the Xbox at launch was trashed for being underpowered. And I can pretty much believe, Lethal, that I know you're a dedicated gamer, and I feel like you had an Xbox One since launch. And we, being people who bought it at launch, have had fun with it anyway. So why would we now go back and talk shit about the Pro, which is basically doing the same thing the Xbox One at launch was doing?
It's just like when somebody comes and they piss in your yard, right? You say like, hey man, don't do that again. Don't do that again. And then they go and they piss in your yard again. So what are you gonna do?
Fuck them up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So something's gonna happen, right? So it's kind of like that. It's that like some of these bootlickers. That's what I'm calling them now. Bootlickers. They're so damn disrespectful. And they will agree with any lie just to make their platform seem better than yours. And so I understand Lethal's point of view. I understand so many other people that sit there and they come out and they're bragging about the X, because it's, you know what I'm saying, you get those moments of where the Xbox is having a moment to shine. They always want to take that like that big son of a bitch that just kicked me off their ship. Take away the light. They want to take away our joy. And so I get the anger. I do. I really get the anger.
No, I do. I get that as well. All right. And I've been a part of this community for a long time. I've been a part of this community even before I knew I was a part of this community. All right. Before I had a YouTube channel, I was with my 360. Like, I would go into GameStop. I would get bashed by, PlayStation people for buying a multi-plat on the 360 instead of the PS3. All right. Like, I get that. But here's the thing. I look at our community as what you would call better than that. All right. If we are going to go and try to get revenge around the corner when we have an upper hand and stuff like that, we're going to use the same arguments that were used against us, and in turn slowly become the thing that we were fighting against for the first 3 years. All right?
Here's the major.
I understand that.
At this point, there's such a disparity between the two consoles.
Right.
Like the PS4 Pro is still a half step. The Xbox One X is literally a whole generational leap in power that we're literally getting different assets in games that are different than what you're getting on the other three pieces of hardware. Xbox One, the PlayStation standard PlayStation Vanilla, and the Pro. So it literally is a whole nother generational leap in performance. So I don't really feel it's fair to even compare the two, just on the sake of the PlayStation Pro's part, because realistically, it's kind of like kicking a bunny. At this point. It's not fair. It really is not a fair comparison between the two. Is what I'm trying to say. Like you're, and I guess to your point, Bot. Like, do you want to be the asshole that's kicking a bunny? Right? Like they're defenseless. They have no answer to the Xbox One X, for at least for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
That's a safe bet. That's just where we're at right now. Both companies place their bets. They felt this was the best solution to address certain issues or problems they may have with losing customers to a competing platform or keeping their customers engaged. All these different things, reason why we have these multiple platforms. So I don't try to like do those sort of comparisons or throw it back in their face, because it's not an equal footing comparison. And I would even argue with Phil Spencer to a certain degree, where he wants to say that S is a little bit more of a competitor with the Pro, because he has been on record to say that. And it has some features that the Pro does, to be honest, which is true HDR, right? But that's it. There is pretty much a pretty substantial power discrepancy between those two.
All right,
systems
Don, I'm
as
sorry,
well.
man. It just seems this like the chat is going down. I'm seeing things in the chat as you're talking, and I do apologize for interrupting you, man. I want to shout out Stick Figure, who brought up. He was like, bragging about the X is bagging the Pro. Guys, that is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying when it comes to the X, all right. I see people in social media constantly talking about the native resolution thing, the 4K thing. There are so many more things to, I guess you could say, brag about when it comes to the Pro. Stuff like I've been saying, with the improved like textures, lighting, stuff like that. You can even, the 4K game capture and stuff like that. And yes, there has been a bagging of the PS4 Pro ever since, the announcement and the specs of the One X. And guys, like, to use the same argument that's been used against you, I know how you feel. The past 3 years you have gone through shit, right? But when those 3 years you have defended something that has been upscaled because you have had fun with it, because it is a quality product and stuff like that, and then you go and you point out native resolution when you know you have the upper hand. I love this gaming community, all right? I don't want you guys to play yourselves, per se, all right? And I got to warn you, if you use the same argument that has been held against you, when there's so many other things you can talk about, all right, you are giving that other side more fuel to come at you more.
Well, to add to that, right? So we don't know when the PS5 is going to come out. They're probably working on it now. They've been working on it probably for a while now, right? Yeah. But there's an opportunity that the PS5 may come out, and obviously it will outperform the X, right? And Microsoft may not have an answer for a little bit. Or if they did have an answer at the same time, I know like Phil has said, like, we'll never be beat out again. But the reality is it's a big game of chicken when you're developing hardware, right, with one another. And there's an opportunity that PlayStation, anytime when there's new hardware introduced, that PlayStation may have the upper hand in that particular area again. So that goes more towards to, like, I know it's kind of like the whole turn the other cheek and be a better gamer and all that sort of stuff, but don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that kicks a bunny, right? Like, don't be that asshole. I'm
gonna kick the shit out of
and I'm gonna kick the shit out of you, K-Mega.
Hey, man, look. I'm just being realistic here. I'm not the type of person that to come out and just look, my system's better than yours. That to me is childish. But when you have a fanboy that comes at you with that rhetoric, I will kick that bunny, and I'll kick it hard.
But here's the problem, every time you do that, you give them more weight to their argument.
No, there's no weight to the argument when
you give them way too much weight. That's the problem.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to just start an argument just to start it, because that's asinine. What I'm saying is that when somebody comes to me with some ignorance, I'm going to say, okay, here, you know what? Check out my gameplay. What's your gameplay look like? Oh, when you was talking about that native 1080p, well, this is native 4K. What's the problem? And then what they're going to say right there, that's not kicking a button. That's just the only thing they're telling me is that wait till the
sideways on you. They're not it's almost not worth engaging in those conversations.
Look. I just got a different mentality than that. I'm not saying that what you guys are saying is wrong, but I'm not saying to go out and, because once you get the Xbox X, start bragging it out and that you got the most powerful system. But when they come at you, you know what I'm saying? All you got to do is just hit them with
business.
Gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Show the game. You know what I'm saying? like I'm doing now. Like when people make videos about me, let them make videos about me. Yes, you wasting your time on me. But only thing I'll do, I'll just show my gameplay. I'll just say, I'll make a couple of comments.
Dirty J is in the chat. He's like, K Mega kicking bunnies now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Call me the bunny kicker. I don't give a fuck. That's the thing about it is that when people, you know, I don't mind sitting. I stay in my lane. When you come in my lane, trying to be like something that you ain't, then I'm gonna put you in your place. Don't come near me. I'm not even messing with you. You got your videos, you got your shit, you got your other. Don't come in here and then start to talk about what another YouTuber did by showing a video. I'm not even gonna look at the trash. I'm not even gonna make a video talking about that video. Things like that. And that's the thing that I'm trying to bring up is that, look, when people are attacked, you know what I'm saying? Lethal Papa comes in there and he's in the chat all the time and on mostly all the podcasts that we do. And he gets his hell from all these people because they want to kick the bunny now. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with Lethal Papa sitting there kicking their bunny for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Saute that motherfucker.
If you kick hold on.
It's just having some fun.
Hold on, check this out. Now, here's the deal. If you kick the bunny with the same boot, your foot ends up being the same size. You see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying on but there's a different way that you can approach it.
There's so many other things. Hold on, Mega. There's so many other things that you can hit them with besides the same bullshit that we've been hit with for 3 fucking years. All right.
Rhythm stick.
Okay. Hold on. Let's. Okay. Well, first we need to break down what PlayStation, what PlayStation to PC, or just say Xbox haters in general, what they talk about. The majority of I say 90%, 95% of what they talk about is not about power. It's about sales. It's about it's about Metacritic.
When they talk about sales, talk about the Wii last gen, man.
What? Okay, but then you get kicking the bunny. Then you know what I'm saying. I mean, if you say something,
how are you kicking the bunny? It's straight facts. It's like, well, if you're talking that hardware sales, hold on. If hardware sales mean you quote unquote won that generation, then how come they aren't saying the Wii won last generation? And then all of a sudden you get all these excuses. And once you get excuses, you tell them, guess what? You just failed. All right, that's what it is.
Okay, but you're saying that it's okay to counteract them, and all I'm saying is that look,
but you're counteracting them with something
different. And I'm saying you shouldn't. But no, okay. If you say something about, if they're coming to you, what's wrong with you defending and standing your ground? What are you saying? You think, okay, bot, if somebody walks to Snaps and slap the shit out of her, what are you going to do? You're going to say, listen here, I'm going to just tell you once, you better get out of here, buddy, or you're going to go lethal. Which one are you going to be? You know what I'm saying? There's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you go up there and you walk up and slap the shit out of somebody. That's the wrong thing to do. I totally agree with that approach. Once you get the Xbox X, don't say shit to them about you got the more powerful system. What you do is just play your games, enjoy your shit. But when they come at you, then you say, "Oh, really? Okay. Well, what can your system do that my system can't? What can you give me a comparison?" That's all I'm saying. It's just like give them a little bit of their own medicine. But just be cool about it. Don't get frustrated and call them names and shit like that. Just have fun with it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I hear what you're saying, man. Yo.
Beating this horse to death.
Snaps is here as well. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, it doesn't mean you had to be dead quiet while I was saying hi.
We didn't know what the hell you was doing.
I know, what's going on.
I'm over here
my
playing.
whole thing, man. Mega, I hear what you're saying, and on an individual basis, all right, I'll give you that, all right. But what I'm saying is the trend that I have been seeing in social media is not necessarily a healthy one for who I feel is the more upstanding community right now. Like I haven't heard, except for like the not for anything, the Halo community was voted one of the most toxic at one point in time. People within that community send death threats and shit like that. I understand about that, but there's a lot of things that I saw on the PlayStation side in terms of extremists, like threatening rape to Lara Croft, the actress.
Yeah.
Even that Kingdom Hearts 3 petition and stuff like that, which is not as bad as threatening lives and rape and stuff. But guys, just to let you know, that petition actually was put out 4 years ago. All right. But from what I see, like I don't want that trend going over. Now, like we have something that it is top of the line within the industry. All right, it's coming out. It's going to be top of the line. To go back and to use the same arguments to kind of rub it in on the other side, you're 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 doing a disservice to yourself if you defended what you have been playing, because what you have been playing with the original Xbox One, the launch Xbox One, has been great, which it has. Like, I don't want anybody to think that I am like trying to bash the Xbox or anything like that. If you hear what I'm saying, you know I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is, if upscaling and stuff like that was fine with your Xbox One, which it was. I have had a lot of fun with all the different games that I have played, all the different exclusives. This is one of my favorite systems, right? But now that the shoe is on the other foot, why are you going to go back and talk about the same shit that you defended against for so long? You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying is that there's some people that say some very dirty, nasty, hateful things, but they say some of the most idiotic, disgusting things just because
I'm
they
just
hate
talking about the
platform you play.
resolution thing, though, man.
But it goes deeper than that.
You're going sideways.
It
Going sideways. That's the problem with this.
Look, man, these people go sideways on you. And
I know, but that's the point. Is we keep arguing about the same, like, pettiness, right?
4 or
And
5
then,
things over
then,
and over
then it
again.
goes sideways, like, because people can't win that argument. The thing is, like, buy what you want from a visual quality standpoint. It doesn't really matter. That's the reason why we have these choices.
Right.
And it doesn't mean you can't be proud of what you bought. If you bought an X and it does a higher resolution, it does better textures, it has better anti-aliasing, even if it's not an Xbox One enhanced title, enjoy that game. You can celebrate those things, right? But, like, the whole, like, the rubbing in your face because of a native resolution thing, it's always was a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's
right?
still a small thing.
It is a small thing. Now, I will say the parallel that Xbox trying to compare the standard Xbox
Is
and
100%
the
accurate.
PS4,
Thank you, Don.
it's
Good night.
not even close to being accurate. But the point still stands for what Xbox is trying to say. Like, why are we even continuing on this conversation? Having this conversation we didn't enjoy in the first place, and even though we have the upper hand, are we really even enjoying that conversation, holding that over people? I don't think most people are, but they're using that as a talking point. You're never going to get through to that other side that's so stubborn that's just going to look for something different, right? State why you like your console, whatever it may be. Enjoy that console. And I know it sounds like a little kumbaya, but the reality is there's certain people you're just never going to get through. I think, as a fan of any platform, you may be PC, Xbox, even Nintendo, right? You're just not going to get through to certain people.
Well, I know that. I know that. All I'm saying is that, look, man, it's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself and having people, oh, we won the Crucible. Okay. Oh, and I just recorded some gameplay with that. That was okay. It's still
that
it's still
gameplay's
trash,
for next Saturday,
right,
man?
it might be. But anyway, no, I get that. I'm not, look, for any Xbox fan that gets out and start talking about, we got the power now, bitches. No, that is stupid. That is not the way to do it.
Yo, Mega, let's be honest here, man. You are a part of Facebook. You are a part of Twitter. You are a part of social media. Tell me that you haven't seen that trend building, and that is the alarm for me, because I love this community so much. I don't want to see this community wear egg on their face. All right? If you defended the Xbox One, which is rightfully so, you should. There's been such great experiences on the Xbox One. Sunset Overdrive, Halo 5, all the Forzas. I could go on and on and on, right? And the whole thing was that petty native resolution thing. Now that we got the upper hand, tell me you don't see the trend growing where now the people that defended the Xbox One, rightfully so, are now using the thing that they were fighting against for 3 years.
They were, but again, but see, it's the thing of where you listen to people that are talking more about MPDs instead of talking about the positive things that's going on with Xbox. See, what's wrong with Xbox marketing? What's wrong with this? What's wrong with that?
That's been recently within like this past week when
no,
it came to low
man, we've talked about that trash on numerous times. Like it seemed like every 3 or 4 freaking months where we have to bring up the fact because
and I was always the most positive one in the chat.
Well, no, but I'm saying, but when Xbox fans listen to that rhetoric, only thing that it does is just it screams that, well, there got to be a problem when pro Xbox guys are talking about it, and really that's and we're helping out the people that hates Xbox because that's what they want us to talk about is MPDs instead of talking about hey guys, how about we get out and we support Crackdown. Let's not talk about if it looks good or not. Or for
Yo, thank you for reminding me. Like while we're talking about this, if you just give me a second, dude, I don't think we're gonna get to the meat of the Crackdown conversation I really wanted to have with Don and everything like that. So I actually want to extend this out. Yo, Don, if you get a chance throughout the week, do you think we could do another live show talking about like your video and everything going on with Crackdown? And
yeah, we can do it whenever.
All right, and I wanna extend out to the panel, and I know I usually do this kind of like off air or whatever.
We got to get back to doing the dev and the gamer.
Yeah,
here's you know what, Dog? Every time I hit you up, you're always busy doing something.
Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. I
want to set a life.
Hold on, guys.
I got multiple of them. What are you talking about?
Don, shut the fuck up, yo. Yo, guys, I want to extend. I will let everybody on the panel know, like, exactly when, like, me and Don are getting together for this, and I will extend invitations to everybody, special guests, people on the panel, like, because I do still want to talk about Crackdown because this is a game I'm very excited for, and I feel like this is a game that is getting shafted very kind of like unjustly, and I want to be able to go in and have a conversation with that. I don't think we're going to be able to do it tonight, but I want to be able to do that, and so I want to extend that out to everybody on the panel.
Let me close the whole earlier argument that we're having earlier, and we'll see if we can move on. You know, if we go through the panel, why are you buying the X, right? I'm buying it for a multitude of different reasons, right? I'm invested in the Xbox ecosystem. That's where my library is. It is forwards and backwards compatible. When I invest in that, that same game library can be played on my S in the other room, right? HDR does make a bigger difference when it's in native 4K when you're dealing with shaders. So that's another visual quality thing you're going to be getting with that particular platform. Overall, you're getting better visual quality, a substantial, noticeable difference from the previous generation to this if it's an Xbox One enhanced title. You're getting faster load times. The list goes on and on for me. That's why I'm buying the system. Mm-hmm. I also get to be able to record better 4K gameplay. For me, it's not about what the other system can't do. It's mostly about what this system offers. And I would imagine if you ask everyone here on the panel, it would be the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And there are people I try not to involve myself in the conversation because of what I do. And it's not very, very helpful for me. But I don't think anybody on this panel would disagree why they're buying an Xbox One X, and I'm assuming everyone on this panel is, for those reasons I listed below. And I actually have a neighbor that has a Pro. I play on his Pro all the time. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he's a diehard PlayStation fan, and he's always about like, I hate Xbox, and he was always making up things and justifying why he bought the Pro. And I said, enjoy your Pro.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it. I'll come over and play. Like it's no big deal. You know what? And I'll go buy an X. And and when you want to come play Xbox with me over at my place, because we live on the same block, right? Mm-hmm. You just come on over. No big deal, right? Mm-hmm. And that approach, and even I guarantee you this guy is on some sort of form, stirring up crap, right? But he's my friend, outside of gaming, and we just happen to find out we both game, and we're on both sides of the different sides of the fence. But that approach that I've had with him over the year has worn him down to where he can have some sort of common sense, where he can go, okay, yes, I like it for these reasons, but there's no reason why I can't like this other thing. Just because I like this better doesn't mean I have to hate this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes over, and it sounds like such kumbaya, but that's the thing I would like to close with. On my point is, when you talk about stuff, talk about why you like it. You don't have to talk about why something else
Yeah,
doesn't have
like
it,
when you
right?
let these people coming at you, which they've come at you for like let's face it, over 3 years, and all they've been talking is resolution, resolution, resolution. Like when all of a sudden you come back and you say something to them now that you have the more powerful system, and then you come back and you're like resolution, resolution, resolution. There's so much more to talk about with this system than all that bullshit. Like I'm trying to say that when it comes to a trend I'm seeing in social media and stuff, guys, I want to let you know I am a fan of gaming. I am a fan of Xbox, right? I am not gonna sugarcoat shit for anybody though. Like if I see something going out there that doesn't make sense, I feel it is kind of like my duty to the people who follow me, to the community, to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this community is a lot more accepting when it comes to that stuff. And I love being a part of it, and I love being able to share this stuff with you and to engage in an intelligent conversation about stuff other people don't necessarily want to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Well,
No, that's wrong. I mean, I agree to a small point percentage of it. I agree with you, to talking about resolution, but I think it's a lot more deeper than that. And I think that standing up for what you enjoy, I don't see anything wrong with that. I just don't start the fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like Halo Storm made a great point in the chat talking about how when the 360 was dominating, it wasn't like people were out there shit. People weren't even doing all this. I mean, I'm sure that there was a small base out there, but it wasn't nothing like this. And it
Like it
seemed
is
like the
now. Yeah.
PlayStation fans were just waiting to get to have
dude,
this
I
moment.
had PlayStation fans attacking me when I had the 360, saying the better version was on the PS3, and I was like, well, not for anything. I have a 360. I'm happy with my 360. I have my friends on Xbox Live. Like nothing you can say to me. I didn't even look into performance of multiplats and all that good stuff during that
I mean, either.
generation. All right, and then when I got to this generation, got a part of the YouTube community, and for the people who did kind of do videos and analysis and stuff, even back then, all of a sudden, it was kind of a shock to me when I heard that. Yeah, well, most of the multiplats actually ran better on the 360 and all that good stuff. Because if I had stayed kind of like in where I was and didn't expand onto YouTube and get into
Uh-huh.
talk, like I would have never have known that, because like I had PlayStation
Me
fans
either.
hitting me every time I went to GameStop, telling me that the PS3 was better and stuff like that, and I really didn't give two shits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't give two shits. Look, I get what you're saying on that. I'm just saying when they come at you, defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I just got a different thought process on that. Like, I mean, you come at me and saying all this crazy shit. Like, look, bro, I'm just gaming and I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, you'll get the PlayStation 5 and then we'll get the Xbox better version of whatever that's going to be. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a never ending cycle. I get all that. But when, you know what I'm saying? But what more thing that needs to be brought up in this discussion is that how the Xbox community can uplift the games that we have instead of them also saying we don't have any games. What the fuck are you
Hold
talking
on,
about?
hold
We
on.
don't have any
Yo,
games.
I just want to stick figure who. Yo, I appreciate it, man. You have been mad active in the chat tonight. Yo, huge shout out to Stick Figure. He is asking for names right now because he says I am painting everybody with the same brush. I said there is a trend going on. Guess what, Stick? And this is tough love from a brother. Yo, dude, if you know yourself, all right? If you weren't a part of that, then guess what, homie? I'm not talking about you. All right? You see what I'm saying? Like, people know what they have done. People have known what arguments they have put out there and stuff like that. I said there was a trend growing, all right? And I feel like there's a need to talk about that before that trend kind of goes out of control.
You know what? There's another trend going. People are getting sick of and tired of the bullshit.
That is
The
true.
bullshit back and forth. There is a certain segment is getting tired of that, right? And it obviously is perpetuated by the bigger media sites and the
Right.
stance they've taken. Obviously, there's the yin to the yang, right? The people that counteract what they're doing, right? And I get where they're coming from. Like that's their stick, and that's what they do, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, I think that there's a good majority of gamers. I don't care if it's hardcore, or casual, wherever you want to call yourself, right? That are getting sick of it. They're just
Right.
getting sick of it because it is it's been so overboard for the last 3 years, right? And that's where we're kind of that's why I kind of say, like, read the temperature in the room, guys. Like, people are getting sick of it, right? And doesn't mean you can't be pro what you like or what you enjoy, right? But just don't be going around spreading falsehoods about one thing or another. Like,
Right.
it's going to bite you in the ass, because eventually these big sites, they're going to eventually close it.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
It's just a matter of time. And
It's
Yeah.
so
already happened to some of them.
yeah, and so when you're
right.
talking about the people that are going to take up that mantle, it is people in our community, people on our YouTube, those sort of things, right?
Mhm.
If you just become more of just kind of the opposite of what they were all the time, right? There's only so much space for that group of people, if
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, that are going to enjoy that. There's a huge section of gamers that been or a huge section of customers that are gamers, right? That don't want all the back and forth. They just want gaming, and
Yeah.
those are the real people that've been missing out on all this stuff. So I think it's a good topic, but I think it's pretty clear where we all stand
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
on
no, I
this one.
got you,
We're
man.
definitely going to be at a pass. I think across the board,
Yeah,
right?
Well,
I mean,
I just want to make one more point on this. I'm going to make one point on this. And as I blast this dude,
Oh, no,
okay. Anyway,
no. Well, dude, before we do sign off, and I know Mega, you say what you want to say after I say this, but I do
okay,
still want to get your thoughts about the basically the main villain for Destiny 2. So
okay, cool. All I was just going to say was just Don is absolutely right. See, the media is not getting enough of the attention because they're the ones that stirring this pot the most, in my opinion. They're doing this for clicks. It was what I said on GRG last night was that they were asking questions. That was on the No and everywhere else in articles. What's wrong with the Xbox? What's wrong with the
the
Xbox?
no is
Get the
absolutely
delay.
horrible, man.
Well, yeah, and like, what's up with the delay of the Xbox? Is it going to? I mean, is the Xbox going to get delayed, or is there in big trouble? And if you're a person that's not paying attention to politics or anything of that nature, you're going to be concerned. Like, what's wrong now? After all the hate that you're getting and all of this crazy rhetoric that's going all around you, you actually start feeling like, damn, Xbox keeps on fucking up. And really what the problem was, it had nothing to do with Xbox. It was with the whole FCC thing. It was because that the Trump administration, they don't have every position filled, and the FCC doesn't have all of the people there to hurry things through. So it was a slower process than normal. And so they had to wait.
Mhm.
And that was on the news. And I'm like, but if people ain't paying attention to politics or paying attention to the news, they wouldn't understand that. And that right there, instead of the gaming people coming out and talking about like net neutrality and shit like that, they're over here talking about the console war. That's the biggest problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yo,
That's
definitely.
what I'm
Yo, I agree with you 100%, Mega. I feel like,
Yeah.
instead of engaging in all this kind of like bullshit within social media, I mean, I know, like, I watch the No a lot, and I watch it to fucking cringe, to be really honest with you. Like, dude, when they were talking about Crackdown, right? They were talking about the destruction. They're like, and now they took destruction out of the single player, and I'm like, dude.
It was never there.
Hold on. I am a regular gamer, right? I have a YouTube channel. I have a family. This is not like my 40-hour per week job. What they're doing is their job. They are professional and all this good stuff. How the hell do I know more than them? I actually listened to when people talk about the game, and they said no, it's not in the single player and stuff like that. And they literally in that video went back and forth, like, yeah, it wasn't, it wasn't supposed to be in the single player, and then all of a sudden it was taken out of the single player, and then, oh, what are they gonna do? Like, they just didn't know shit. I gotta say, like, I can make a living off making a channel dedicated just to calling out the no. It's been multiple videos that they have given nothing but false information, and it is sickening sometimes. Like, that is mega. You're right. That should be kind of like the main focus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Engaging in this kind of like fanboy war bullshit on social media. Like, we should be getting more to the heart of it, and the heart of it is where, like, this information is going out to the most people, and it's false information. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I don't know, guys. If anybody else on the panel have any last thoughts on this, because we actually did run over again. I do apologize to our special guest, but I am trained by Mooch, and if you are trained by Mooch, you can do a 5-hour podcast, no problem, man. Is there any
Ran
last
over.
thoughts on this, Daz, Predator?
No, man, I think y'all hit everything.
So play what you want. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yes. And the fuck it.
Fuck it. Yo, if,
Yeah, that my accent was horrible. I
yo,
have to
but
read
if graphic God's listening, man, we need a Daz shirt that says "fuck it." Yeah.
Yeah, it's ironically, Graphic Gog's making me a fucking avatar next week, so I'll have fuck it in it. How's that?
Nice. Well, if there isn't anything else that needs to be said, you see why, like, I was excited for this topic. I know it's a topic we could go and get in on, and I know you can't talk about this with just anybody, and it's one of the reasons why I love the panel on the next podcast. I love the special guests that come on, because we can at any point in time tackle those tough subjects and get in to the heart of it and stuff like that, and it's one of the things I absolutely love about this show. But with that being said, we do gotta wind down. We are gamers, man. I want to get that controller in my hands. Dude, I have so many games to play. I don't even know what I'm gonna play tonight, to be really honest with you. I just know I want to get some.
But Xbox got no games, Bob.
Ah, yeah, fuck that. Whatever. All right, but yo, let me hit up our special guest. Yo, first let me go with Daz. Yo, Daz, it's your first appearance on Next Podcast, man. I think you hit a home run today. Yo, thank you for coming on. At the end of our show, we, like a 40-year-old with a comb over, man, we got to put in those plugs. So why don't you tell people about your YouTube channel, Twitter, where they can get a hold of you, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Find me on Twitter, UK Dazaris. I support a major amount of the community as much as I can.
Definitely.
Physically. Yeah. My YouTube channel, check it out. Also, UK Dazaris. I do a lot of retro games, rant videos, thought videos, and just gameplay videos. I'm on a Mixer as well. Can't stream as much as I'd like to, but there you go.
Nice, Daz.
That's about it, really.
Yo, brother, man, I had a blast talking games with you, and as I say to people, I really feel like had a really good showing off. I hope you come back on again sometime, and we could talk.
Me too, mate. Me too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
In terms of Pred, this is your second time around, man. I hope the second time was better than the first, but you gotta let people know how they can get a hold of you and what you've been doing with your YouTube channel, man.
Hey man, I just got back, so I've been a little slow getting content out. I've been actually slowly getting stuff up once a week on my channel. You can find me Predator_H2OS on YouTube, on Twitter, on where else am I at? I think that's the only places. Shop Podcast usually on Saturdays. I was doing this with you guys today, so I couldn't make the shop today. Tune in, like, subscribe, comment on my channel, and as always, man, thank you for having me on again.
No doubt, man. You are welcome anytime. Just let me know. Let me know when you got free time. I feel like we will always have a seat for you, dude.
Roger that.
Yo, Mega, your 2-week vacation. You got the Manny Petty going on, man. You were sipping drinks with little umbrellas in them.
Yes.
Dude, man, you gotta unroll that scroll and let people know what you're up to, dude.
Hey man, no doubt, man. I'm sitting here, man, with my wiggling my toes in the water, man, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Got to look fresh at all times. But no, yeah. Thank you, guests, man. I enjoyed you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I just subbed to you guys, and I hope everybody that's listening. I hope you go and
Sweet.
sub these people because, you know, they're talented, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that has talent that comes into this and comes with and shows their passion and dedication to the gaming community. That's what we all should praise. As for me, you know, you can check out the GRG podcast every Friday night right after Crossfire. You know, and you know, we have special guests and stuff too. So, you know, but and sometimes we have Don. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have bot. Sometimes we don't. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yo, bot shows up at random, man. Yo,
random. No, anyway, yeah, but of course, the daddy of them all, BGST. You know what I'm saying? I cannot wait to hear those crazy asses tomorrow and what they got to say. The multiplayer, and that's the wild one right there.
Oh yeah, Pred, my bad. It was your third time. I just cut K Mega off so bad right now. Yeah, yo, Pred, I forgot it was your third time. You are absolute regular now, man. Well, dude, 55 shows, one per week, man. I'm allowed to forget some things, okay?
Yep,
Yes,
I did it back to back with you guys in 2 shows in 2 weeks.
That's see, listen to that, listen to that. That's bot. That's bot's fault, man. You got to do better
That's
than
all
that.
my
Bot.
fault.
All your fault. All your fault. Anyway, and then of course, you know, check out my channel, K Mega 405. I do some mixer every once in a while. I do want to stream a hell of a lot more. I don't know why I don't because I'm playing games all the time. So yeah, man, and big shout out to Intro Media Gaming. That's you know, that's my crew, my team, and man, thank you guys for you know just supporting me, man. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, Mega Bro, before you go, I'll DM you so I can fuck you up.
Oh, okay. All right. We can get it in.
Oh,
we can get it in.
Okay,
We can get it
yo,
in.
they call
it.
Noof no chills, but man, when it comes to fighting games, yo, Daz is definitely no chills, man. He'll call you out in a heartbeat. Yo.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. It's like McGregor and shit. Like, come on, man. You better,
yeah, man.
better come with it, though.
We'll arrange something, bro.
All right, cool.
Always.
Nice. That's all good. Much love.
Yo, Don, man, I saw you dropped a video today that like I had a lot of interest in. I tried to share it out as much as I could, man. I love hearing a developer's perspective on things that are going around, whether it's the gaming media, social media. Just hearing like you know somebody who actually has knowledge in that subject, you know, hands-on with tools and stuff like that is awesome. Why don't you let people know about you know Happy Little Polygons and where they can get a hold of you, man?
Yeah, Happy Little Polygons is my YouTube channel. I try to steer away from the drama as much as possible.
I bring you right back in it, don't I?
Yeah, you do. And give opinion, you know, mostly opinion pieces. It's going to be a lot of more of my artwork stuff as well, time lapse and all sorts of different stuff down the road. The last one I decided to tackle the controversial Crackdown 3, Terry Crews cell shaded debate that's been going on. You know, nothing intentional against one or another, just trying to explain what we're seeing on the image, what was going on there, how those images are created, how they can be run in a game, how it is possible, all that sort of stuff. And I think there might be a chance, I guess I may go deeper in depth with that stuff outside of my channel. But no, it's actually, I just looked at the video. It's actually doing extremely well for considering I don't really post videos. So if you want to go check it out, it's called Happy Little Polygons, and you can definitely check out my stuff. Subscribe, like, hate. It's all good. Doesn't matter to me.
Check out Don's stuff.
Yeah, kiss that fucking ring.
Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link's below, along with everyone else's that's here. You know, normally here on the panel, the regulars. Mm-hmm. And you know, you can follow us on Twitter, that sort of thing. So if you want to see when I'm dropping those videos, you can do that. And yeah, that's really about it for today.
Nice. And guys, I want to give a couple huge shout outs. First of all, to the rest of the panel. You know, Oh Snap It's Mel is she's doing her thing, working hard. You know, peddling them cookies right now. Foos, another hard worker who really kind of grabbed a couple jobs to kind of win in that game called life, get all the achievements and stuff like that. So huge shout out to the golden voice of the next podcast, Mr. Fooskis. Huge shout out to Newark, who had a party for his son and stuff like that. I can't wait to go onto Twitter and check the DM. He said he's gonna flood the DM with pictures and stuff like that. But that is the rest of the next podcast family, and of course to everybody in the chat. Guys, I knew that the last topic was going to be a hot topic. Yo, the chat, you guys have been lively all night. Guys, you inspire us to, make this show the best it could possibly be. This is your show, and we appreciate all the support on a weekly basis, all the way through with the live show, with you guys commenting on Twitter, following our channels, everything like that. You are the reason why we do this, guys. I also want to give a huge shout out to a few names out there, a few YouTubers and stuff that I feel personality wise are like the cream of the crop, and I'm watching their channels grow and stuff like that. So huge shout out to Delilah HD, Miss Infamous out there, oh snap it's Mel, the Ashen Luca for the podcast that she has been a part of and stuff like that. Yo guys, what's up?
I said Lucas mean little ass.
Yeah, I know, right? But
that's a mean girl.
All them names right there. I know when I first said them, one of the first things you would probably know, within the community, think about is women, female gamers. But yo, guys, it goes beyond that. These gamers, these YouTubers, their personalities, their knowledge of gaming, and their opinions, man. This community would not be what it is without them in it, and it is good to see their channels growing. Yeah.
Yes. Big shout out to Delilah HD and to Lady Infamous, man. Most definitely, I'm very proud for those ladies. They're part of the GRG podcast. And
nice. Delilah was dogging me last night, man.
Yeah, man. They are the matriarchs, man, and I love, especially when Delilah gets in like that, because she shows her passion and she spits that knowledge about gaming. She knows her business, and so does Lady Infamous. So it's great for lady gamers out there like She Wolf and Lady Foxfire and Blue and all those ladies out there, Miss K, all of these lady gamers out there that I've seen in the YouTube space, man. Shout out to you guys for real.
No doubt.
Bullshit.
Shut up, Dad.
Oh, and you didn't get to. I thought the boss was cool. He's not on no Atriox, but the boss, he was kicking my ass up and down that ship. So Destiny.
Yo, tell me you didn't want to kick his ass, man. When he came up acting all like pompous and shit, man.
Yeah. He was coming in. I couldn't hear a lot of the dialogue because I wasn't trying to cloud it over, people hear in the background. Mm-hmm. But but no, it what I'm saying, Destiny feels good, like it did, feels a lot better and stuff like that. And if and I'll give the game a chance. It's just that I got to have people to play with. But
yeah, I feel you, man. Not for anything, Mega. When it comes to first evers, I think you kind of lead the pack with Next Podcast. You had your first ever kind of like on location live on Next. You know what I'm saying? When you were in the car. Your first ever, I'm trying out the game as we're talking right now, and I'll let you know when I'm done. Oh, man, absolutely love it. But, guys, like I said, it is Saturday night. We want to get the controllers in our hands. So I'm gonna end it the way I normally do. Yo, thank you again, everybody, and we'll check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Laters.
You guys gotta check the DM. I found K Mega's new car.